Okay. So,
I think Pockets is dead.
Pockets is not dead.
Pockets don't die.
I'm at 17 of 20.
Because you guys healed him right afterward. But, so the last time you guys played, you were back in Singorn. They gave you an idea of what you needed to do as far as, like, the places that you needed to go to purify orbs. You were sent to your rooms. They put a lock on your door, like a seal on your door, just so you'd be safe. After a little while, one of the speakers came and visited you and wanted to speak with you, so you walked with him down to the orb room. And all of a sudden he stabbed Pockets, left him on the ground bleeding, and stated that he wanted to corrupt the orb with your blood. At that point, you guys went into initiative. He started attacking you, and got to Omi, looked him in the eyes, and freaked out and disappeared.
You were not supposed to be there.
Did you read your backstory?
No, I fucking didn't.
I'm in the middle of a project. Don't worry. I'm sorry. All right.
You have plenty of time.
All right.
Anyway,
Did you send me my backstory?
I did. Yeah, I sent everybody their backstory
Yeah.
that day.
I reread mine again. I was like, oh, I remember this.
Yeah. So at that point, Speaker Igraine came in and a little disheveled, and yeah, she kind of like looked around, asked what happened, saw the devastation, and sorry, I need to scroll down. So that's what happened. And looked around at what happened and had guards behind her, and she kind of looked around, assessed the situation,
Right.
and yelled, "Guards!" And they came in. She pointing directly at you. This man needs help. Get him up immediately. Take him upstairs. Get him some healing. And turns to you three. What happened?
So the speaker was kind of bringing us down here. We had requested to see the
Which
orb.
speaker?
What was this fucking? Did it start with a P?
Yes, I just said it. Purveus.
Purveus, yeah. I'm like, it started with a P.
And we were curious to see the orb. I've never seen one before. And he was bringing us down there. And then he turned out not to be Speaker Purveus. And he stabbed Pockets!
Well, I'm upstairs.
Well,
Yes,
not
you're
immediately.
being carried away.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. He transformed into a halfling?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Into a halfling. And I don't know who that person is.
I don't know who it is either.
All right.
If only we knew.
Yeah, if only someone
I was cross-eyed through
Knew.
the whole thing.
Yeah, I can tell. So she's like, okay, well, we need to lock down this area. Everybody out. Jarvis, and a tall, thin elf comes up, all in house armor. See that these three get back to their room safely, and have the barrier replaced on their room. And he bows low and motions you to follow him. As you leave, you can hear her yelling out orders to guards and everybody. You can hear her having them lock down the room, search it for magical whatever besides the orb and things like that, and then it fades away as you head upstairs. Jarvis leads you up the stairs. Again, it's kind of a long walk, especially after all the drama. Leads you to your room and ushers you in. I know it's been a long night. I apologize. Is there anything that you need before we seal the room?
More protection, maybe.
Unfortunately, the seal is all the protection we can give, besides the guards out front.
It seems like your most powerful
do you want to give them this
possession.
list?
Yeah. It seems like maybe your most powerful possession in the city is not so well guarded as you may think. You might want to place some more.
They are doing that right now. That's what the speaker is involved with.
Yeah.
They led you up to the room. Excuse me. Inside, they sat you down, and Taranya runs in and she comes up to you and she starts. There's glow from her hands, and she heals you completely. She makes sure that your wound is taken care of. She checks it a couple of times. It's soft. It's like it kind of hurts when you press on it a little bit, but it's healing over. She looks at you. I don't think you're going to have a scar, since we took care of it quickly. But I would definitely suggest rest. And she gets up, and as you guys walk in, she's kind of on her way out. While I'm here, is there anyone that needs to be healed?
Yeah.
Pockets.
I've
I
taken
just-
care of that.
Okay.
I'm healed.
Thanks for not listening.
Sorry. I'm making a list of shit I want.
Well, that's up to Jarvis. Anyone?
Nope.
All right, then I need to see to my duties. Apparently there's a crisis. And she quickly walks out.
Have fun storming the castle.
You think it'll work? Gonna think a miracle.
You wanna take
Bye!
Bye.
So they lead you back to your room. You're in your room now. You hear a pop as the barrier goes up, and as the door closed, you saw like 3 guards standing outside your door in the hallway.
Are they the same guards as last time?
They are not the same guards. It looks like they've done a shift change. It's the middle of the night.
You look over at me and I appear to be sad. You say, why are you sad? She said I'm not gonna have a cool scar.
Oh, they took care of that?
Bummed out. Guys, I'm bummed out.
I mean, you can always
Sorry.
cut yourself.
You know,
Battle
you-
scar.
You could always get stabbed again in the future. You never know.
Give me some berries for
Here's
when that
hoping,
happens.
right?
It's really hard to eat berries when you're dead.
So,
Anyway, okay, so it's nighttime.
Yeah. Yeah, it's probably
wow.
about 2 or 3 in the morning.
I'm pretty healed.
You can hear outside the door like people rushing past.
yeah. So the speaker for
Perez.
Perez is missing then. Like, we don't know where he is, right? We couldn't find him, or
Yeah, we
the
don't
guards
know.
couldn't find him in the building. So he might be murdered. Which is not good. Because he's one of the 4
Speakers, yeah.
speakers.
Mhm.
And then there was 3.
And then there was 3.
Was Perveus one of the ones that you guys were like happy with, akin with? Did you like him?
Yeah,
I'm new here.
we met Perveus before and things seem to be okay
Does
to our
he-
understanding.
did he
Well, the
have
first time
any-
you met Purveus
Right.
is when you came in with him.
Oh, okay.
You met
Egret.
you have not met Igraine, Aranin. I think it's Aranin. Shit. I'm gonna have to go back and look now.
See, there's so many.
4 of them?
You're telling me. That's what notes are for. That's why I give you guys
Elf
binders
too,
and
you
shit.
know.
Hold on.
I remember hearing Perveus before though. Like,
Well, yeah,
name.
last week.
This would have been the last time we were in Singorn, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't write any of those business names. I wrote down Taranya and the Comus.
Nikasaur?
No. No. Wrong game.
Those are the only 2 names I wrote down.
Yeah, it's like 3 pages.
4 pages.
There you go. Alvarel. Taranya's father is the one you had met before.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that didn't take much because my keyboard wasn't working last week. But it is now!
Good. Yeah, Alvarel is Taranya's father. He is the first of the speakers, and then there's Igraine, Purveus, and Aranin. Igraine and Aranin are women. Purveus was male as well.
I need my notebook.
What terms? There's yours.
I have,
Okay. There's Tony's.
Yeah.
Mine's the yellow one.
Yeah, that's right.
Thank you.
Did the...
yeah, I
Did
did
you want to take notes?
I'm using notes on this.
Okay.
I've been using this one for my notes.
That's fine.
So,
I'm just.
Did Bizarro Purveus do anything, like, want anything besides to kill us? We were in Town City, and she wanted to, like, suck our soul or something? No.
she wanted to corrupt the
He-
orb.
By doing
By corrupting it with blood.
Yeah.
anyone in particular?
Stab.
Besides...
Pockets.
I think it could have been anyone, but she stabbed
Yeah.
Pockets. Or he.
He turned into a she, didn't
Yeah, later on.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
he?
That's
Okay,
why I said she.
I didn't know if you were correcting pronouns.
You kept saying Purveus, so I kept saying he.
Do we think the others are in danger? I mean, if one
right.
could be. I mean, there could be somebody out trying to kill all the speakers right now.
So this is the first time then that you guys would have encountered an uncorrupted orb that was trying to be corrupted. Everything else you've come
Yes,
across
yes.
was already corrupted.
Yeah.
Correct.
So corrupted with blood? It seems likely.
Yeah.
No.
Could be.
Okay.
Is the
What
orb
is-
corrupted now?
Oh.
You don't know.
So the
They
elf-
shuffled everybody out.
Yeah.
The elf said that every full moon, they do a ceremony to uncorrupt the orb.
Or to
keep
continually
it.
purify it. To keep it purified.
So, okay. We should maybe find out more about this ceremony? In case it has any keys to what's up with it.
And just so you know, because you're a druid, full moon's tomorrow night.
Full moon tomorrow night, full moon party! We get buckets of booze. Full moon party.
And jump
I can-
ropes
I
that
can-
are on fire.
Brew from.
You don't have time to brew anything.
Why I'm curious why I wanted my blood to
Yeah.
corrupt the orb because
I
I've been
mean-
able to uncorrupt every orb.
Well, so is everybody else that
Yeah.
has helped.
Wow.
To be
But
fair,
I always
special.
get sucked in.
That's because
I'm
you're always the one that
first
touches it.
one to get sucked in.
Because you touch it first.
Yeah.
To be fair, it seems like a lot of other people really want your blood too.
Yeah. What's going on?
Does it just taste really good? Can
I think you
Don't
just
like it.
happen to be the closest. I think you just happen to be the closest one to him.
I mean, did you want to share something about your backstory that might enlighten people?
Yeah.
That's what they're
I
for.
know a lot of backstory though. I'm the haunted one.
No, I meant like your actual backstory that we were talking about last week.
Yeah, like about how I basically watched everyone in my family die and get beaten and tortured and stolen, and
And who your dad was.
I still don't know who my dad was.
I know, but you
I
have
do,
something
but
that.
I don't.
So you're an
You
only
have a
child
crest.
now.
I don't know like who he is though.
You
That's
don't know
what I'm
who he
trying
is,
to
but you
figure
have a
out.
crest.
Yeah, here, hold
Have you seen this?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly.
on. Hold on.
It's like, have you seen this crest before? You should definitely ask that.
Have you seen this crest before? But hold on, let me see what it's called.
It's just it's just a family crest.
Okay, I thought it had a name. Here.
Can I'd like to open the door and speak to one of the guards.
Okay, so you knock. You try to open the door and it's actually locked.
Oh.
You knock, okay,
Boop, boop.
and you hear popping sound,
Ah.
and the door opens. Yes,
Good evening, gentlemen. I'm Snuzzles.
yes.
Nice to meet you. Alright, day guards. We're a little more personable. The full moon is tomorrow, and I'm sure we're all very excited about that. This is my first time in your fine city, and as a druid, I'm interested in maybe being part of the ceremony or learning more about it. Could you please tell some of the council members and see if that's okay?
The council members are extremely busy right now, but maybe in the morning you could speak with them.
Wonderful. Thank you. I'll
Okay.
boop him on the snoot.
Do you? He looks at you like, "Don't fucking touch me, bitch.
Oh, is he
I'm
the
trying to
one?
do my job."
Is he the one I give the list to?
Are you gonna give the list to anybody?
Yeah.
All right.
That's the main stuff. The stuff on the back is other stuff that Snuzzles might
Yeah.
want that he probably can't get.
Yeah, it's a wish list.
Okay.
But,
Yeah, it's a wish list. All right.
but that's everything.
All right. I will take this down to Jarvis and see what we can do for you.
Thank you.
And he closes the door, and you hear the snap again as the barrier closes.
All
Is
right.
this barrier soundproof?
And you hear a rapping on the door from the other side.
I think that means yes. No. Oh no.
No,
No. It
please
means
no.
no.
So, are we doing anything else, or are we resting?
I'm good to go.
It's
I
like
go
2 or
too.
3 in the morning.
You
guys haven't slept.
Rest. We're gonna
We're gonna
do
do
a
a
long
rest.
rest. I need some of my spell slots back.
Cool. I'll
So-
make some berries now.
Okay.
Alright, so long rest.
I'm taking names and going through this so that I can so I can look at it as a crib note instead of 4 pages.
Yeah, I took some time with your backstories.
I know you did really. We are failing, but you're doing awesome.
So you guys are taking a long rest?
Yes.
Okay,
Alright.
go through your spells, get what you need. Morning comes, it's probably about 7 or 8 in the morning, maybe 9. You guys didn't really have any sleep the day before after going through that whole tomb crypt thing.
What was it?
Yeah, that was yesterday.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, you guys have been going through a lot in like a day.
Yeah.
Oh, we should have asked about that lady Celica?
So
Yeah.
So,
Let's ask them about that.
Morning comes, you guys are kind of groggy. It was a long night. You take care of your spells and stuff, you meditate, you pray, you
Well, I'm
You
drinking with
study.
Caden.
you what?
I'm drinking with Caden. That's my prayer.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, but you're praying, basically, yeah. You're communing. Yeah. Day drunk!
Yep.
And about 10 o'clock-ish, sun's starting to come up over the trees. You hear a knock at the door, and you hear a pop.
I'll get it.
And outside is Jarvis. The speakers would like to have breakfast with you, or lunch, if you would be so kind as to follow me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Cow.
Okay.
I can't find anything about
It's
the
fine.
thing in there though.
It's what you found under the bed when you were cleaning up the house after she died, after your mother
I
died.
found the no.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that, but I don't remember the symbol.
Yeah, there's a crest. There's a book and a crest. I'm just letting you know now. It's a crest,
Okay.
and you don't know what it is.
I just.
So you follow Jarvis down a few hallways, and into a large room, a large dining. It's kind of a dining hall, but it has one large table. You can tell that it's kind of a formal dining room. And they motion you to enter. The speakers are already there. It's kind of a buffet. It's kind of, get your own plate.
Casual.
Yeah, pretty casual. They kind of want you to be fed before they start talking to you, that kind of stuff. Everybody's kind of sitting down, doing their thing. You guys are more than welcome to grab whatever you want and sit down as well.
I'll get waffles. There's waffles.
Okay, so you notice that 3 of the speakers are there. Taranya's there. The seer is there. Her guards are standing next to the wall. That's the bee lady. Yeah.
What's
The
her name
seer.
again?
Huh?
What's her name again?
The seer.
The seer.
Yeah. Seer. Seer.
Okay.
She sees things. She's very wise. She's kind of dipping, but not really eating, and kind of small, casual conversations throughout the room while everybody's kind of getting what they need before they start this thing.
Can I go up to this here?
Yeah,
Good morning. Can you believe what happened last night?
I'm still in shock.
So are we. We could hardly believe it. So many bustling things are happening.
How many more bee puns can you come
I had just one. How many more we're gonna follow? Oh, honey, honey.
Is there anything you wanted to ask me?
So you came here from your own kingdom,
We came here from the Great Library.
the Great Library. I'm sorry, I'm new to the city. Is that in this city?
It is actually. It's in the. The Golden Gate Wood.
And
Not like 5 miles from here. Not but 5 miles from here. 4 miles.
and your peoples are scholars or warriors? Or
A little bit of both, actually.
students? It's a pleasure to meet you. I've never seen any of your kind.
Well, you should visit the library then.
That sounds lovely. Thank you.
Pardon the interruption, but do you know what this crest is? Pulls out a piece of fabric.
Well, quite abrupt, but no, I do not.
Well, that's
It looks elvish. You might want to ask one of the seers.
I am a
Or, I'm sorry, one of the speakers.
Ask them. We're talking to the seer right now. The bee woman.
Oh, you should have you searing the.
It doesn't work. No.
Yeah, ask
She
one of the
sees
speakers.
things. She should have
Turns to speakers. Do you guys know what this means?
They're just kind of eating their breakfast like fucking half elves. As they go back to their food.
How dare they not answer him?
You're kind of getting the thing that they want to eat so that they can talk. Like they want to get this over with because there's something weird happening. Like you don't. Does anyone want to do an insight check?
I'll do it.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, there's nothing in there about us.
Inside.
Not even in the very first paragraph.
In the very first paragraph, it's just
Yeah.
That would be a 23.
Yeah.
it doesn't.
Yeah,
give me
they're
definition.
hiding something.
Mm-hmm.
They're kind of avoiding your eyes. They're kind of looking away from you guys.
Probably the fact that one of their council members got murdered, or.
Or one of them is.
Okay, well,
Bad.
huddle, quick huddle.
Or one of them is.
Oh, okay. So something's going on. We don't like the feeling of these things.
All right.
Like pretend like you're eating waffles still. I don't know. Like
Yeah, they're
the-
definitely hiding something.
Yeah, the main council guy is gone.
They're not
like,
telling us something.
Do you think he defected? Or is this all a
But
troll?
they wanted my blood, and I am a half elf.
Oh, half
What if that was my dad?
I don't think it was your dad.
That little tiny woman was your dad?
The halfling.
You mean
Woman that
Herbaeus?
turned from a
Guy?
guy.
It might be my mom.
the little?
Yeah, I was abandoned as a child, and my mother.
Stage whisper.
Stage whisper.
So you
Okay.
What?
Hello?
Hear you.
Oh, woman. Let me read exactly my backstory so that we all get it perfectly well. Alright, where is this fucking thing? This phone is so small. No. Where did it go?
You probably
Oh, shit.
airdrop it or something.
I totally might have deleted it.
What? I guess we'll never know.
No, she had lavender eyes that turned red. And then she looked into my face, and she said, "Your eyes." And I have lavender eyes. Yeah. So I think that there's that person was my mother, maybe, or someone who knew her.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Do you remember anything of your mother? Else?
She had very much the same face as I did. She was a halfling like I am.
That would help.
Yeah, she's a halfling like I am. Yeah, so I mean, I don't want to assume anything, but that could be very well my
She's
mother
not
or
full
someone who
lady.
knows of my mother or might have done something to my mom. Who knows? Who knows? I was a child when I was left, so I do not know.
You were left?
I was left to a caravan, and I was before I ended up in San Francisco. Long story.
What kind of caravan?
Just a traveling caravan of merchants.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And do they know where they picked you up?
It was in Reno, actually.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
Reno.
terrible.
It's a dump.
You were lucky to get out.
It was very true.
So you took like a mother ship of sorts to get here.
I did. I
You
did.
yourself didn't have
Yeah.
a mother figure.
Oh my
So
god.
you relied on.
You were assuming a lot. As you're having this conversation, Speaker Aaronin stands up and claps a couple times. I believe we need to get this meeting started.
Speaker. Can you spell that real quick?
Arrinin.
Okay.
ARR.
Never would have
I-N.
guessed that's how you spelled it.
Really?
Yep. I
for
in
sure.
my previous notes, it was definitely an E.
She's Elven, whatever.
Yeah, right?
As long as you can pronounce it, it doesn't really matter how you spell it.
That's true.
I apologize for the commotion this previous night, but I must inform you all of the current situation. And you notice that she's a little bit paler than last night, than you saw her last time, and she's kind of sweating a little bit. Like, she's really nervous about what's going on. She looks around and nods to Alvaro, and you see him kind of chant something and move his hands around, and you hear that familiar snap around the room. As of
Alvaro
now,
is the other speaker?
I'm sorry?
Alvaro is the other speaker?
Yeah, he's the head of
That's Tarani's daddy.
Yes.
Here's where I understand it.
As of now, the district of Singorn is being closed off from the rest of the city. Last night, a former speaker tried to corrupt our orb. Thanks to these brave adventurers, this was foiled, she nods to the party. Be that as it may, we must take precautions. We have set guards and mages to protect the orb, and no one is allowed near it without permission of the whole council. Unfortunately, that might be a problem as well. Every full moon, the 4 speakers go to the orb and keep it cleansed. There are only 3 of us now, and we do not have time to indoctrinate a 4th.
I'll help you.
Can I help? I'm half elf.
We will discuss that as well, yes. But yes, we would actually appreciate your help. Since you've purified these orbs before, we do know how to do it. We just don't have enough people experienced enough to do it.
To purify the orb?
Yes. Since it's done by the council, and the council are the ones that know how to do it. For our orb, specifically.
How many people in the council minimum do you need?
There are four members of the council. And
Minus
there are
1.
minus 1 now.
And
Were there more members of the council before?
No, the
More
council
than
is 4.
And you have been unable to find the other speaker. Is there any way you can use magic to locate him? Or her? Sorry.
We have tried, we cannot find him. And as this is said, a lone guard steps away from the wall and moves towards Speaker Erin's side. You watch her face become deathly pale. She stares into the distance before she comes back to herself. She clears her throat. Speaker Purveus has been found. He's been found dead in his chamber, murdered. The room erupts into a cacophony of sound as everyone shouts and argues at once. Speaker Igraine stands and motions everyone to silence. We must investigate this and see what we can find. We will convene in a couple of hours. Please, to your rooms with your escorts. The seer turns to the council. I will be in my room, but I must send a messenger back to my queen. She needs to hear of this and prepare for what is to come. Erin nods. We see the truth in that, and wish you a safe journey back to the library. With that, the speaker heads to her room, and the scout heads towards the amphitheater. Jarvis comes and collects you and starts leading you back to the room.
Can we investigate the Purveus' quarters?
Are you asking Jarvis?
Yes. We have some knack for this.
Well, yes. I will ask for permission later. But do me a favor. Don't touch anything. He leads you through a few hallways. He kind of nods to a couple of the guards who are like, and he's like, he brushes them off. And he brings you to a room. It's not a fancy room. It's adequate. It looks like the speakers don't really lead a lavish lifestyle beyond their robes and their circlets. They live pretty humbly. And as you look around the room, you actually see the body kind of half stuffed under the bed. Does anybody want to look around any further?
Yes.
Yeah. Investigation.
What are you looking for?
Definitely. So first, I'll look at the body.
Okay, do a medicine check for me.
Yeah.
Medicine check.
Yeah.
Ooh, yes. 19, but something I'm good at. 24.
24. You look at this body, You're kind of looking over it. You're kind of touching it a little bit, trying not to disturb too much. You notice that it's been stabbed in the heart a few times. It looks very precision. Like there's a stab in the neck, and there's a stab in the heart. It looks like whoever did this knew what they were doing, and they did it quickly. There is a lot of blood, but not as much as you'd expect. Also, as you're looking at it, you kind of figure that this body has been dead for about a week.
Oh.
It's been a while. The eyes are starting to sink in. They're filmy, and there's a huge crust over the top of them. You kind of start moving around the parts, and yeah, it's been dead for a long time.
So then who was
He's been in
thinking-
disguise as him
Yeah,
for
it's
at least
been-
a week now. What else has he done in this week since?
Does the speaker's Purveus, did he have an assistant or a helper or someone that?
Who are you asking? Are you asking Jarvis?
Yeah, Jarvis.
Well, there were guards assigned to him, but not so much assistant.
No one followed him or cleaned his room or did anything to assist him in his daily duties or.
Maybe
He was
anyone-
very private. He stayed in his room, studying a lot. From what I know of him, he was very quiet. He kept to himself. He kept most of his ideas to himself, except speaking with the council.
Is that a recent thing or is that something that's typically always him?
He has been a council member for about 60 years.
And he's always been that way.
Yes.
No change
As
in the
far
last
as I
few
know.
weeks. Okay.
Maybe we could see a record of the speaker's activities, especially in this last week. Anything out of the ordinary?
No one really keeps records of the speaker's activities.
I
Unless
like
it's in
council
councils.
matters, yeah.
Council matters.
I
You would have to
understand if
speak
we-
directly to the council members for that.
Okay.
Did anybody else want to?
I want to search the room.
For what?
I want to look for maybe where the blood went, murder weapon, or I want to look for any secret panels, or does anybody want to help me?
Yeah,
I'll-
do an
I'll
investigation
look
check for me.
Investigation check? Okay.
Like forced entry or.
That's a
anything.
D12. So try D20.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna help you. I have +6 on my investigation, so.
Wait,
So roll.
never mind. No.
Nope, he's not helping you.
Okay. 8.
You're just so overwhelmed with this that it's just like, wow, murder scene. This is weird. I've never seen one of these before.
I'm terrible at that.
Takes
Just-
crest,
Yeah,
crest
take-
head.
Yeah, you're looking around. There's blood underneath him. You kind of look through some of his stuff. His You open his closet, and it's kind of got like
Investigation check.
there's like a hanger,
Oh.
an empty
Yeah, by
hanger.
your foot. I
Over my
did
foot.
one just now.
That's money.
Ah, ha, ha.
Yeah, it has to be on the
No, no, if
I
someone
dropped money.
Oh,
okay.
That's out of character.
it looks like one of the hangers is empty. That's about all you can like. Oh, somebody took his robe. Like,
Right.
it was kind of obvious. Anybody else looking for anything specific?
I wave my face and then give it another go.
What are you looking for?
I want to see if there's anything like on his books or anything that matches the crest that I have on my.
Okay,
Yeah, 19.
19 for investigation.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see anything. You go through some of his books on his desk, and you don't see anything like crest related. You do find an interesting book though, leather bound,
Ooh.
and inside you recognize some of the symbols.
Okay.
It looks like this is a spell book.
A spell book.
Do
I'm
not
gonna
touch
take it.
anything, you guys.
Put it in.
Do a sleight of hand check.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're
dude is
stealing-
watching
You're
you.
looting a corpse right now.
No, it's on a desk,
Um,
but still.
It's on. I'm looting a desk.
Should I?
He'd want you to have it.
14, sleight of hand. 16.
16.
I got it.
Jarvis looks or walks up behind you. You probably need to put that back.
Okay.
If there's anything in here you need later, we will discuss it. And he moves back to the door as he watches you.
Is there? So I checked the body. Is there any signs of like struggles in the room, or was he maybe dispatched pretty swiftly.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there was a struggle at all. It looks like whoever came in and killed this guy did it really fast and got rid of all the evidence.
Meaning entry?
Meaning
Geography.
they're professionals. They
Yeah.
knew what they were doing.
Okay. Yeah.
Does everybody
But then
keep their
to just-
doors locked, or like,
Yeah, but
do you
just,
need magic to like get in? Like, Jeez.
Only if you're under
Goodness.
surveillance or if you're being protected.
Yeah.
But it doesn't look like we weren't expecting an attack, so none of the speakers' rooms were locked.
Yeah.
As far as like a regular door lock.
so it could have been a-
Looking around the room, there are windows in here.
Yeah.
And they have, I mean, they're shutters for like against the rain and stuff, but they're not magically sealed or
Yeah.
anything.
And bee people come and go, so.
Well, through the amphitheater because it's open.
Go outside. Is there a balcony? I'm guessing.
There is not.
No, he doesn't have a balcony.
No, he does not. No, you guys are in the guest quarters. They try to make it nice for people.
Oh.
He just
yeah.
has windows.
I just didn't council member. We like no.
No, they live pretty simply.
Well, alright, guys and kids and girls, and dog. Did we get
And
a dog?
Bo's probably in your room.
Whatever.
You didn't need him.
Good dog. Well, it seems to be that he was either murdered in his sleep, which, from our investigation, there's no ruffling of the bed, so whoever killed him must have taken either
Your
another
mom.
form. Yeah, but
Your mom.
or it could have been
My
by
bad.
surprise.
Shapeshift, gender bending.
Yeah. So, besides that leather-bound book, we don't see anything else.
No.
The thing is, like, this person that stabbed and murdered him, possibly your mom or dad, has been like playing him for like a week now,
Right.
and only now decided to play their hand the day before the full moon is to be uncorrupted or re-uncorrupted.
Yeah.
What else have they done during this time?
Well, it seems like if they would
I
have
mean,
wanted.
they've obviously been at every council meeting for the past week,
Yeah,
so they
And-
know everything that's
everything
going
that
on.
they know. Yeah.
And Perveus was an elf, or was he?
Pervase was an elf, yes.
An elf. But they didn't take his blood. They took his. Yours. Pockets, yeah.
No, Pervase's body was definitely missing blood.
Is it
There should have been more blood.
There should have
Based on my examinations, his body was stabbed in the heart and throat, and there's not nearly enough blood to account for his
combine
wounds.
the blood.
So I think we have a blood collector.
Okay. Was it also weird how pale the other council member was? Do you think she's hiding something?
Oh, she's definitely hiding something.
She is the one who announced that Speaker Perveus has been found dead.
She's definitely hiding something.
So
But he's been dead a week.
And they just found the body.
Yeah. No one's been
But
in
that
his
could still be it.
chambers.
trap.
What's his name? Jarvis?
Jarvis.
Like they.
Jarvis. What's the other speaker's name? That I'm sorry, I forgot her name.
Aaronin,
Aaronin.
Aaronin.
Igraine and Alvarel.
Aaronin. Aaronin is the one that's pale. Aaronin. That's not a good spelling. Aaronin. Can we speak to the guards outside of her chambers, maybe?
Sure. Why would you want to do that?
Oh, just seeing if maybe other guards have seen something.
I can't guarantee that they'll speak with you.
She wasn't looking that well this morning, so
No.
kind of just want to check in on her now that we have a dead body.
All right. All done in here?
Yes.
Guys, anybody?
Can I try and
For
take the book
now.
again?
We need
He's
Yeah.
watching you.
Huh?
Distraction.
He's watching you. Yeah.
I started a small fire in the
Oh, you were gonna try to take the spell book again?
Yeah. Does anybody else want to slide a hand this spell book?
Can I just ask?
I mean, I can try it. It's
Well,
not
he said like
guaranteed.
he
said that
told
you
you
could
that
come
you could-
back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
About it later.
Come back and
Man,
get it
I
later.
just rolled a natural 20 on my notebook.
You're wasting all those 20s by constantly rolling it.
Yeah.
So,
Just in case, I'll give you guidance. It's also something I should have been chained during this entire time.
so let's.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be blessing everyone next next day.
Do we? So should we head back to the council chambers? Council
I
room.
want to check on Aaronin.
Okay.
She wasn't
She's
okay,
not in the council chambers. Everybody's in their room right now.
let us.
Well,
Jarvis, can you take us to Erin? We want to see
Yeah,
if she's
I can
all
definitely
right.
do that.
You guys cool with that?
Yeah.
I'm doing this now because I've learned that doing like this means we're just talking to the group out of character.
Oh, I
guess
didn't even
in
know that.
character. Yeah. So, are you guys cool with that, or do you want to do some more snooping?
I mean, there's nothing really left to find.
Yeah, besides stealing his
Sure.
things, so maybe we
Right.
could talk to other speakers.
So let's
Yeah,
head
let's
I don't
over.
need to
Okay.
steal a
So
dead
he leads
speaker's
you through a
thing.
few more hallways. There's guards everywhere. You kind of have to scoot to the side. He's still getting looks
Mhm.
because you're supposed to be in your rooms, but
Right.
he kind of like he waves everybody off. You can tell he's kind of like a higher up
Mhm.
guard, so he kind of shoos people away, shoos guards away, tells them to get to their stations. You pass a few rooms in a row. Actually, it's just a few doors down where there's guards outside. About four rooms down, you come to another room.
Jarvis, before we go in, have there been any changes in the guards or any other missing people that you know of?
Well, the entire city's reporting missing people.
A bunch of different missing people.
Yes, all over the city.
Is that normal?
No, it is not. Neither is the giant fog cloud above the city. Neither are the zombies on the streets. Neither are the spiders in the great forest.
Jarvis, what's your title as a guard here?
I'm guard commander.
Are you the only guard commander?
No.
No. Okay. From your assessment, sorry to bug you, Jarvis. I know you're busy.
It's fine.
Um,
My job is to guard you.
Are there any similarities between the people that are missing that you've noticed?
I'm not an investigator. I've only heard of people missing throughout the districts. As far as our district is concerned, there's been no correlation. It just seems random. It seems mostly like people that go out on their own and never come back. Nothing as far as like in the heart of the city has happened like this before.
Interesting. Well, carry on, Jarvis.
He walks up to the guards and kind of whispers to them, like kind of mumbles to them, and looks a little bit confused, but turns back. Unfortunately, Erin is not to be disturbed right now. I mean, I'm sure you can understand why.
We don't understand why.
Yeah.
Something is wrong here.
Well, yes, a council member's been murdered, and somebody tried to corrupt the orb under the city, or under our district. Of course, something's not right. I could only expect that after the news this morning, she would want to take some rest, or at least counsel her own thoughts.
Do you feel that some of the other speakers might be corrupted as well?
That is not my place to say. I'm just a guard.
Maybe a vicious rumor should be started.
I heard a rumor.
Yes. You
Yeah.
want to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm only +1, you're +3.
What are you doing?
We're going to intimidate
Intimidate.
Jarvis. We want in.
All
We-
right.
So Jarvis, I would help, or maybe let me help you. Can I do that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh wait, let me help you first.
Well-
Oh, never mind. You got a 17.
Plus.
20.
Okay. What are you doing to
We
intimidate him?
feel that if we do not
So
get
is
in
he
there-
doing it or you doing
Oh.
it?
You're doing it.
I'm doing it.
Little baby.
No, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I just feel like if I don't get inside the room, something else could happen. Like she was sick, she was sweating, she was, turning different colors. We need to see what's going on with her. Like maybe she's corrupted. Maybe she has all of this energy inside of her that, because it's not actually her. It's not actually Erin. She's hiding.
I understand your concern. Unfortunately, if she decides not to be disturbed, there's nothing I can do. Give me one moment, and he walks over to the guards again and starts speaking a little bit more heatedly. And one of the guards turns around and looks into the room and knocks on the door.
Mm-hmm.
You hear a faint sound, and he looks into the room, and you hear him mumbling into the room and poke his head back out, close the door, and speak to Jarvis, and he comes back over. It seems that she was attempting to rest. She wasn't feeling well. She was overwhelmed, and she's trying to sleep.
Well, you keep an eye on her, goddammit.
My job is to keep an eye on you.
Well,
I'm not the
you
Jarvis, the other guy.
tell them, yeah.
That is their job, and they will not waver. Is there anything else I can do for you? Besides take you back to your room where you were supposed to be.
Are
I
there
don't want to
speakers?
go back
I
down.
know.
I don't want to go there.
Rooms are boring,
It's
except that it's really
close
nice.
city.
There's the
There's
seer as well.
baths and yeah.
You can go to
Yeah.
the seer,
Seer.
or... Alright, let's send the seer.
Yeah.
Okay.
She seems like
See
pretty cool. Yeah, she can see. She's
Insightful.
amazing.
Yeah. What do you see, lady?
Okay. Let me scroll back up to that.
I want to ask what her queen's name is.
Queen, what's your name?
Queen Bee.
What's her name?
Who's the queen?
Queen Bee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
What? What?
He takes you to the
made
seer's
this.
room, and she has her two warriors outside, along with a couple elven guards across the hallway watching the door. And Jarvis walks up. The heroes would like to speak with the seer, and they nod and open the door immediately, without any thought, and usher you in.
Funny how we have to be in our room, but we can go see the seer right away.
Yeah.
Okay.
She seems much more accommodating.
So you walk in.
Yeah, we walk in.
Okay. You walk into a moderate room. It's a guest room. It only has a couple of beds in it. There is a small table, basically a coffee table with a couple chairs around it. And you see her sitting on one of the stools. She can't really sit in a chair. And she gestures for you to have a seat. She stands up, gestures to the 4 stools in front of her,
And not thankfully.
and then sits back down. I was expecting you.
I suppose you would.
Wouldn't be a seer if you weren't.
How may I answer your questions?
Can her name be Miss Cleo?
Her name is the Seer.
First name?
Middle name, Miss Cleo. Did you have a Jamaican accent? Anyway. Alright, Seer. Anybody? You want to ask her a question, or?
So, I'm new to this city, and we're just now beginning to learn other council members and who they might represent in their factions. What are your views on this chaos that's happening around us?
I'm deeply concerned. I knew this would probably happen. Not this specific event, but a catalyst, yes.
Something to stop the orb from being uncorrupted?
More like someone would try to corrupt the orb,
Yeah.
but I couldn't see when or who. They were obscuring my visions.
They through like magic,
Yes.
dark magic. Can you tell anything about maybe the source of it?
The source of...
Magic.
It seems like you're quite powerful. It would have to be someone quite strong indeed then to...
if anybody had magic to block seeing, then yes.
Yeah. But like... Okay.
Is that magic still? Do you still feel that magic's presence?
It's not so much that I feel its presence, more as something's blocking my visions.
Can you tell if it is close, if it's within the walls, within these walls, or is it coming from outside?
Unfortunately, no. When I try to see, something blocks my vision. I don't get a sense of where it is. Otherwise, I'd be able to see it.
What's in my pocket? Just
Your
kidding.
hand.
Yeah.
God damn it, you're right. It's supposed to be the one ring, but whatever.
You don't have that yet.
You've been around the council members for some time. Do you know of anyone that would specifically want, say, Purveyor's gone as opposed to anyone other, or was this just a crime of opportunity?
As for that, I know nothing about that. I've only been here for about as long as you have.
Yeah, you got here yesterday.
Yes, I did.
Oh, okay.
Where did
Yes.
you come from?
The great library where you saw me last time.
Okay.
I remembered you.
I remember you too.
Just testing you.
I'm just seeing if she had any other journeys.
No.
Hmm.
No other journeys. I helped you prepare for the last journey, and you were supposed to come back, and you did not. So we sent out scouts to find you, just in case something had gone awry. Found the tower cleansed and safe and clean, so we left guards to keep it that way. And then we were summoned here,
Who summoned you?
the elves.
Not
the
Purveus
council,
or the council member or the
Uh,
king
it
or the queen?
Most likely was the council member.
council members.
Seth.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes, we received a message that you had arrived and that we should attend immediately.
Is there, if you are being blocked, is there anything that you could tell us that would aid us?
Not about this situation. I have information about the other areas where the orbs are, but that's about it.
Could you tell us that
Yeah.
information?
Yes, which area would you like to hear about?
Let's
Shall I
go-
just start naming them off?
Yes, please.
No, actually.
There's a lake.
What about the
Ah,
Davidson
lovely.
district?
Davidson District.
Or the Asiatic.
Or both.
Oh, well.
Or for the city is the big one. That's the last one, right? Dangerous.
The mountain is ruled by the dwarves and hides many secrets. Once the orb was installed, the dwarves placed protective runes to prevent seeing or scrying. They keep their business to themselves and their riches even more. They open the district to outsiders and traders 5 days a week. Outsiders are only allowed on the first few levels, and no one but they know how low the levels delve. Do not get me wrong, they are a friendly and hospitable bunch. They just don't share secrets well.
Asiatic.
Asiatic. The Asiatic district is a mystery even to my people. It was founded long ago by a people that arrived across the Western Ocean. They arrived with great wealth and built the Jade Tower. Around it, their society grew. After the orb was requested and paid for, it was placed at the topmost chamber of the Jade Tower. The district has become as two-faced as the mask they wear on festival days. One side is light and life, prosperity and beauty, the other darkness and deceit. Large families have grown rich by becoming syndicates that provide goods and services that are not available on the open market. That is all I must speak of that. The district has been obscured by darkness. An eternal night looms over the place, and the darkness moves of its own accord. We cannot see past it into its heart.
But you still can see into the Dwarvish kingdom.
No, they blocked from seeing and scrying.
But around the mountain,
Seems a really
without
good
you can't
plan.
permeate in, but around it is
Oh.
the dark fog around it as well.
It seems to be above it still, as in the rest of the city.
Okay.
We've recently encountered someone, as of just yesterday, that great vexing to me. Do you know anything of Celica? She calls herself the self-appointed queen of the druids.
I have not heard of her before.
If possible, I know you're quite busy, but it's a personal nature, and I believe maybe involved with the matters you're seeking. I can maybe show her the mask, and if you get any side
Okay,
effects or something off of
you
it.
hand her the mask.
Yeah.
Okay. One moment, please.
Okay.
And she kind of sits back and she holds the mask with her eyes closed, and she starts speaking an incantation, and you see her eyes pop open, completely white. And she just sits there for about 5 minutes, unmoving, unspeaking, barely breathing. And then she pops out of it and kind of gathers herself, breathes deeply a couple of times, hands the mask back. Oh, that one you seek is powerful, more so than she should be.
She's a pain for sure.
I could not see exactly where she was, except inside a dark room. The walls were unfinished. The floor was dirt, and she was surrounded by figures in robes and grotesque masks.
So she's back in.
She's in the Asiatic.
She's back in where we were. Or she could be in.
Do the masks look of like the same druidic nature or of a different type?
I don't really speak druidic nature.
Like similar to the mask I showed you.
Which
Right,
mask
I
did
do.
you show her?
So I have.
I thought you handed her the white mask.
The one that
Or
she was
the
wearing.
key mask.
The key mask.
She was wearing the white mask.
She was
but
wearing the white mask.
The gold one, I'm sorry, the gold one.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you handed her the gold one.
They're all done in the same.
The gold one was not.
Oh, okay.
No, the gold one was flat.
Okay.
The gold one
Another
was
mask?
just a key.
You show her the other mask?
Yeah.
Yes, they looked similar, but in different forms.
The masks are all anguish and pain.
But
Yeah,
all
yeah, but of
grotesque
that
in
nature,
pain,
so-
yes.
What is she trying to do? Seer, can you tell me anything of my lineage?
Unless you have any information on it, no, I cannot.
Can
I
you,
cannot scry into your past. I can just look for things.
If you hold my hands, could you tell me where or if my mother or father are alive?
Okay. So she holds your hands, and she speaks a separate incantation. Nothing that you understand.
Mhm.
You kind of get little bits and pieces, but it's really it's a really complicated spell that you've not heard of before. And again, her eyes go white as she stands for a moment, and less than 20 seconds later, I'm sorry, child, I cannot see a thing.
Do you feel you're being blocked, or do you feel?
I don't know. I just cannot see anything of your interests.
But is it humor me, Seer? Is it the same feeling you get when you're being blocked in other ways, or is it a separate block? Do you see red or lavender?
I
the
look into your
color?
past, I look into your present, and I see nothing.
Yeah. Well, I'm out.
Can I ask you about the swamp?
Absolutely. I have stuff on that too.
Does it swap the third location?
The swamp is
The
a
southern
forward
swamps, yeah.
location.
So the southern swamps were once a series of small lakes, one more beautiful than the other. Rare birds and aquatic life came to this lush feeding ground to reproduce and to nest. The orb there provided magical nourishment and cleansed the waters. The water is also used by the city to feed the populace with fresh drinking water. As the orb became more corrupt, the water levels receded and the denizens became twisted and deformed. Beautiful water fae became twisted and ugly. The wildlife began turning on visitors and devouring them.
Delicious.
Once beautiful meadows are now thick with reeds and snakes.
Yeah.
The glistening waterfalls are now clogged with sludge and harbor all manner of slime creatures and decaying plants. It is also near what is now the Lost Academy.
Can we never go there? I hate snakes.
Does anyone still? Is everyone there corrupt, or is there any factions that still persist?
It is not so much a district in where people live. It was more of a, how would you put it? A reserve for wildlife. But also used to purify the salt water of the ocean and create fresh water to feed the people, to hydrate basically the people. There's a plant there that does that stuff, but unfortunately, it is extremely dangerous to get to right now. And remember, this has all happened within the last month.
Yeah.
Can you explain the Lost Academy to
The
us?
Lost Academy? Well, before this all happened, there was a great academy, a gathering of the greatest minds from all races and classes of life. The academy was filled with summoners, wizards, oracles, and every sort of magic user there is. Every race gathered there in pursuit of knowledge. Then one day, the whole of the academy disappeared. Students and professors alike, all gone. There's no telling where they've gone or what the hour of their return is. All we know is that the land on which the academy stood grows nothing, as if the land waits for it to be replaced.
Did this academy have a crest?
I believe they did, yes.
Did it look like this?
It did not.
Hmm.
Does
Here.
You could do a short video of you doing that. Okay. Can you get that doesn't look like this? Okay.
Did it look like this?
Okay.
No.
Why do they need us back at the library?
Oh, we didn't need you back. We just, you said that you were coming back after you were done.
Oh, okay.
Can you, are you
Oh, one last. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
fairy people down the flying bee backs?
What?
Not you personally. Some of your more stout warrior bees.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, not right now. Not in this specific situation.
I mean, never you. I don't want to ride you.
I understand that, but no.
Seer, can you tell us?
And she looks at you like, that's kind of rude.
I mean, you're right. I'm sorry.
Seer, where Corval resides, the orb of the city,
City Hall, yes.
City Hall. Can you tell us of Corval? Can you tell us anything more of Corval?
The only thing I can tell you is that we don't know where he came from. All of a sudden there were rumors that the Lord Mayor was murdered. And then Corval did something, became known, and the orbs were immediately corrupted.
Is Corval a man or an elf? Or
We don't know.
You know nothing of his height or weight or what he looks of?
He just appeared one day. We heard rumors of his name. They became greater, and then City Hall was cut off.
Okay. All right.
Give me just a second.
Is Jarvis still with us?
He's at the door.
See, Jarvis, can I steal that spellbook now?
Mhm.
Jarvis, can I steal that spellbook now?
There is actually a knock at the door. And Jarvis pokes his head in. Excuse me, Seer. It's time for the heroes to get back to their rooms.
Heroes. Call us heroes.
That's us.
That's you.
That's us. I vote. Let's go. Let's go back to the room.
We've been in there for another 12 hours.
Unfortunately, you don't have much of a choice. I need to get you back before we all get in trouble.
Fine, let's go back to
That's
the room.
Ladies here, it's a pleasure.
Thank you.
Keep us seeing. See you next time.
See you later.
I guess you'll see us. If your powers work next
Be
time.
seeing you later.
baby.
Here's some Visine. Have a great day.
You hear like you hear a very faint chuckle as the door slams behind you.
I let her pollinate me. The door's closed. Door's closed.
Yes, it is. There's also 2 bee guards standing right outside.
Oh, I mean, am I right?
Am I right, boys?
And you look, you see them kind of look down with a scowl and
Check out those
hear their
stripes.
wings start to like quiver and buzz. They're just not. They're
That's
not
how they
happy.
laugh.
Tough
That's how they laugh.
crowd.
So he leads you back to your room.
Yeah.
Investigation check when we get inside.
Deposits you in your room, and you hear the snap as you enter, and the door closes.
Okay. Let's
Seems less
Okay,
like
do
we're
it.
being held here for our safety.
Check.
Natural 20.
You look around the room, and there is nothing out of place,
Okay, good.
Mason those left in the
except for a
Save
pile
that for one of your death
of
throws.
things in the
Pile
corner.
of things in the corner,
what-
guys.
Yeah! Hey!
So
Loot the pile!
Look, pile.
you find a short bow
Short phone.
Short bow. Who
Uh,
got that again?
with a quiver of arrows.
Me.
So,
how many
where's
arrows
the
do I
short
got?
bow.
It's 20, full
Oh,
quiver.
full quiver.
Mm-hmm. You find 3 potions on the medium side. They're red, so you recognize them as like medium healing potions. I don't know what they're called in this game though. It's not regular. It's the one right above.
Yeah, it's not like lesser. It's
It's like,
Irregular.
it's like a girthier potion.
There are those things.
Girthy potions? Oh, we should have requested those.
Girthy potions. Oh my god. You can use the jars later or the bottles later.
How do I add this thing?
equipment, manage equipment.
Manage equipment.
Potion.
Should I take all the potions then?
Right.
You have buckets for them.
Yeah, there's potion of healing greater.
I'm just writing it all down and then I'll add it all.
Yeah. I think everyone actually. I mean, do we have enough potions to have everyone have a potion?
I think
That's
everyone should probably
best.
have one at least.
Yeah, so
There's
it's
greater, superior,
greater.
and supreme.
the 3 greater.
Okay.
3 greater.
Yes.
I don't currently have a potion. Can I carry one of those?
Me too.
Sure.
Cool.
You
You
find
swap-
a stack of paper and ink.
Ooh, I want that
Ooh.
Where is this thing?
because I can use
I
it for my
type in-
spell book.
Yeah, I'm just looking for. Oh, type. I
And
type
when
it
you're
in.
about
Yeah,
to
yeah.
heal-
Oh, I didn't know that.
Search, type in potion,
I know, I'm
and
gonna
it'll
have
come
so
up.
many.
Oh, I was looking for bow,
Yeah,
short
magic
bow.
book.
Oh, yeah, short bow.
And then here we are. Short bow +1.
It is a +1.
Oh, it is a +1.
So you each took a greater healing potion, right?
Oh, I have to add the arrow.
I didn't take
one. I did.
by itself.
I gave them to you guys.
Huh?
Because I already have potions, so you guys each take one. 1, 2,
Oh,
3.
it won't let me add arrows to it.
No,
I
but just
can-
mark
I
down
can-
somewhere that you
I
have
can heal,
20 arrows.
so-
Okay, so I'll take it.
Yeah, that's a,
I mean,
It'll-
everyone should have a potion as a last resort if we don't have one. I think.
yeah, it'll
I mean,
allow
how
you
many
to add
potions do you
arrows.
already have?
Okay.
It's just it won't tick them off like the other one did.
Let's look.
Because
So
if
you have
you
to
have a
keep
lot,
track of
then
that.
I will take one.
You find some plate armor,
Plate armor, yes.
which is very similar to the stuff that they wear.
Nice.
It's got like this beautiful green enamel and silver filigree.
Ooh.
Yeah,
I have one potion of
And it's just regular plate armor, right?
it is plate armor. Yes, it's heavy as fuck,
Yeah.
and you will have disadvantage on all stealth rolls.
Clang, clang.
Yeah. Clang, clang, clang went Spartacus.
Clang, clang. Into the room. You know I wanna clang, clang.
Quick question:
that.
the arrow,
Clang,
the
clang.
I have
short
one
bow
potion of
+1.
healing, so
I had arrows
have
+1
one
for
potion of
that,
healing.
or just regular arrows.
already.
Regular arrows.
Okay,
So
so
do
it's
you
not
want one?
doesn't live together.
I'll take it then.
Yeah. So I'm gonna add the paper.
No, why do I have that number?
You all right?
No.
Just having a little
Okay.
sneezing fit over here.
How many pieces of paper? It lets me add one at a time.
Oh, really?
You have about 400 gold worth of paper and ink. So just put it in your notes.
Yeah. That's
Or like
how much
scroll down to the
you-
bottom of equipment and it'll say extra equipment.
Yeah. Depending on the spell you're scribing, it says you have to use this many
Um,
gold worth of
And there's a
materials.
small wooden box
Woo!
at the bottom of this pile.
Look at the box. Loot the box.
Okay. And you find a gold ring in there.
Yay! Loot the gold ring.
You said greater or superior?
Greater.
And I get one.
Can I?
So,
look
so
at the
it's the
gold
plate
ring?
armor.
Yeah,
Were there
you
any
can.
weapons or anything?
Can I?
There were not any weapons besides the short bow.
Put the ring on.
Yeah.
Anything happen? Detect magic ring.
Detect magic?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a ring of animal influence.
Yeah! Ring of animal life. Oh, I already have that. Well, kind of. What's it?
Read the description.
I read the description.
It does 3 things.
Okay. You
Um,
meant into this thing, not on the ring. This
I
is not a
will-
Lord of the Rings ring.
Damn it.
Is it?
No.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
it has 3 charges.
Okay.
It gets 1d3 back at the dawn of every day.
Cute.
Wait,
You can expend 1 charge to do
So
animal
if I had
friendship.
400 gold worth of
Ooh. Oh yeah, I
paper,
should just add this. You're right.
Yeah, it's in there.
What's it called?
Ring of animal influence.
Cute.
You can expend 1 to cast fear on animals of intelligence 3 or lower,
Ooh.
and you can expend 1 to do speak with animals.
Oh, great.
Yeah, it's not so
Like-
much you can speak as an animal, you can speak with animals. So instead of spending a spell slot, you can use that as well.
Cool. Neat.
And it recharges 1d3 charges
Dawn.
at dawn.
Nice.
And yeah. You also find trail rations. Not lembas bread, sorry. But you find some dried meats, some nuts, some berries, things that'll last for about 3 weeks on the road. There's probably about, if you type in rations in your thing, it says 10 rations, or 10 uses of rations. There's probably about 4 sets of them, so about 10 each. So if you type in rations in the thing, it'll say that there's about 10 days worth. So just a thing of rations for each of you.
It says rations 1 day.
Okay. Well, there's 10 days each then.
10 days each.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, just write it down. You're probably not going to need it in the city, but later on.
Oh.
Shopping episodes.
Cute.
I know you haven't even gone shopping
I
yet.
think I did it right. Okay, sorry. And then rations. Then
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
So yeah,
okay.
as far as the paper and ink go, you know that they put out a lot of money. Like, that's a huge gift.
I just put it in the notes.
Yeah.
Before. I hope I did it right.
Oh, can we use a little bit of piece of paper to write a thank you note?
He's got regular
I
paper.
have regular.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
This is like special stuff for spellbook shit.
Ah, yeah.
So we can add spells to his spellbook.
I would like to write a thank you note.
Do we do a
with
full
the
rest
regular
already?
paper.
You did.
Paper one.
Dear
Yeah, it's probably about noon
Wooden box.
ish.
Thank you so much for giving me this ring. You are the nicest wooden box I have ever come across. I look forward to meeting you and seeing you in the future, and may you have
You can take the box
good
with you.
health until. Oh, okay. I'll put the note inside the box and then take the box with me. Yeah, what's in the box? Ooh, yeah. Okay. I think. Yeah, I did. I'm adding a box.
As you cast the detect, oh, you probably needed to cast identify, but whatever.
Yeah.
But as you cast it, it's still going. You notice that there's this faint glow around the box too.
Box! I already looted the box.
Yeah.
What's up with the box?
Hey. I mean,
Any
Arcana
asshole?
check? I don't have identify.
I have Arcana.
Yeah, you can
Six.
totally Arcana check.
Okay.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, plus. Yeah, you're better at this.
Plus
I'll give
six.
you advantage on it though.
Okay.
Nope.
Just one roll.
Just one roll.
I leave in your pockets.
Nope.
Plus,
Well, it's 10.
yeah, that's fine.
It's a box.
So as you're playing around with it, do a perception check for me.
Yay!
Good.
Super good.
Okay, so as he's playing around with it, trying to figure out what it does and what the properties are, and he's like using a ring, taking it in and out, you notice that every time he closes it, you can't sense the ring anymore. Every time he opens it, it's right there. Every time he closes it, he's like trying to look around and keeps opening and closing. You're like, hey, wait a minute. If you put something magic in this box, you can't sense it.
How big is the box?
It's about that big,
Yeah, a
yeah.
little baby box.
Yeah. But you also-
I found it under a bed.
As you're looking at it, you notice that it's not just a wooden box.
Yeah.
Opening and closing it, it's lined with iron on the inside.
Oh, it is
was
like
inside
X-ray
of
vision.
a
Okay,
leather bump.
cool.
And then there's
Piece
a
of cloth that fell out.
you look a little bit closer and you notice that the spell on it is actually just to keep it nice and pretty, like the box on the outside.
Prestidigitation box.
Kind of, yeah. Like it keeps it like nice and smooth and it doesn't chip or like splinter or anything like that.
Just
But
to
it is
see if
lined
it's
with
on there,
iron.
Is this something that I can look up or no?
What?
Just is this?
No,
like,
it's not.
okay. I'll write it.
Nope. It's just something I made up right
So
now.
it's
That's
just
fine.
lined with
Yay!
the box is lined with iron.
Iron, yes. And you know Arcana check, like without even doing it, that iron hides magical items. You cannot sense magical items through iron.
I am definitely taking this notebook home and rewriting all these notes because I'm just like,
Organizing notes.
yeah. Well, like on this page, I have like arrow there that goes with this, and this
Yeah.
is her.
Yeah. All right, so you guys are in your room for a while.
Mhm.
Yeah, is there anything else you want to do while you're here
Take it
besides stock up and relax? And I mean, it's been a busy 2 hours,
out.
3 hours, something like that.
Mm.
You're nice and fed.
You
You go out to the balcony. It's beautiful outside. It's
Soak
not
in the
like this
tub.
at all. Except for the darkness that you can't see very far beyond.
I wonder if they have any mounts that we like. You said that there's no mounts in here that we can ride, like a
You mean like
winged,
your dog that you can
like a
ride?
winged creature.
Extremely expensive.
You don't
Yeah.
have like a winged creature taxi or anything.
Not a taxi, no.
Winged creature Uber. Okay.
A Uber?
A Uber.
Oh, a boober. Bird Uber.
I mean, you've been to the transportation stations, which pop you around the city.
Yeah, I'm looking for a helicopter here.
Yeah, nope.
Okay.
Nope, way too expensive for you,
Okay.
and they're not going to give that stuff away.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
So it would be-
That's what you said about a lot of the things that you're
Yeah,
going to
what's
keep,
up
like
with
the
that?
dog.
I think that's
Oh,
wait.
You think that's good.
I was thinking about how fast the dog travels. I was like, yeah,
You
could shoot the
can-
dog.
Wait, can you put on the ring and talk to Bo and ask if he's heard anything while we were gone?
Anybody coming out of the room? Yeah, he's within the
Have you
room.
attuned to it?
Were people outside? Did you hear
I
anything?
don't know if I need to tune to it.
I think you do.
Because he was in the room the entire time. People could have been walking by knowing we're not in there talking.
No?
Right.
Oh, there you go. That's a different thing. Doop, doop, doop.
But Bo doesn't speak Elvish.
Oh wait,
No, but
go to the
he has
item itself.
the ring now that he can talk to him.
Actually, just scroll down to the bottom of your items, and it should say.
I don't think so.
No, not. See, bottom
Yeah.
item bottoms.
I think there we go.
Items. There we go. If it's not there, then you don't have to attune
Yeah,
to
we
it.
got do. Also, I'm pretty good at talking to dogs, anyways. But I guess officially, Boop. What is it, boy? What have you seen?
I didn't see anything. It was so boring without you guys.
You can talk.
No, but you can.
Aww. What's your name? Do you know your name?
Bo,
Are you happy with your name?
sure. As long as you guys are here, I'm fine.
Who's your favorite druid? Are you your favorite druid?
I don't know. I don't know you very well, but he's really nice. And walks up and like slobbers all over us, so you can't hear any of this. He's the only person that can understand. He's just like to you guys.
I hug and
He
hold
says
the
he's
neck.
been
picture,
licking
yeah.
himself all morning.
I don't mind. I do that too. I'm a halfling.
Is that something halflings do?
And you see his
is
tail
now.
start wagging
It is
really hard.
Where do you think he learned it?
Well, we're really excited to have you. He loves you a whole lot, and I think
No.
he wants to maybe like be like battle buddies with you. So maybe you could try to work really hard to be better at being useful as a riding companion.
I'll do my best for you guys.
Oh, here we go. There we go. Good boy. And I'll feed him probably not a good berry. Something that a dog would want out of trail rations.
You snuck him a waffle.
Waffle Joe. Yeah.
Makes a mess. Slobbery, all everything, yeah. It's adorable.
This place is cool. It also is super charming.
Okay.
He said he wants a bandana.
Well, we're just gonna have to get you a bandana.
Yeah.
Oh, I have one in one of these rations.
No. How lucky is that?
I can tie.
Yeah.
It's a handkerchief.
Shut up, dog. I need a fucking bandana.
He says he loves it. He says he's never been happier. He
I can
says-
tie my fabric little crest thing around his neck. It's on a piece
It's
of
about
fabric.
this big.
Oh,
You must really value that to be tying it on just any dog.
Just on any dog. Okay.
Wait, where did you? I guess I could have asked Bo. Where did you get Bo?
We were traveling through the city, and we happened upon a what was it, like a convenience store,
An item shop,
an
yeah.
item shop, and we went in. We had some trouble with the owners, but we noticed Bo in the back. Our
Previous friend.
previous friend who abandoned us.
No, he was taken.
He was taken. Yes, by who knows what.
I
And
didn't seem to really follow up on that.
yeah, well, he was only here a little while.
We don't get attached very easily.
Not so much.
Interesting.
You've only known him for 2 months.
Whatever he was. And so we saw Bo, and we kind of took him without permission.
Oh.
But we also gave the owner and his family clean drinking water forever.
So yeah,
Oh,
steal
not
their
forever.
dog.
Well, for a long
I
time.
mean-
For a long time. I mean,
Blink twice for save you.
Uh,
I like it here.
Yeah, okay.
It lasts for 10 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, I guess I have to whisper. Am I speaking in dog when that works, or in regular?
Yeah, kind of when you're talking to him, you are, yeah. You guys feed me a lot more, and I get to go outside.
Yeah. He says thank you. And I try to teach him how to do. That's We're working this.
With his like his paws forward. It might take him a little while.
Yeah.
all right. So
All right.
Bo hadn't heard anything or nothing. He was just here
Yeah,
bored.
just
No one
being
came in
cool.
our room.
Yeah, we left him for so long to go like investigating. We should
No, it was
probably stop
important.
doing that.
Yeah. Well, where should we go next? What should we do next?
A couple hours pass. You're kind of like picking your noses. Pocket starts. Do you want to start like putting things in your spell book?
Well,
Because it's going to take you a day to do it. So the sooner you start, the better.
Yeah.
Get the putting stuff in your spell book.
That shield spell that you just got,
well, wait. I thought it was actual.
it's a scroll,
Okay.
and you have to scribe. You have to actually put it in your spell book to be able to use it more than once.
Okay. So then just manage spells.
Yeah, but not yet because you haven't done it long enough.
Okay.
About 4 hours goes by, and there's another knock. There's a lot of knocks at the door, and you hear a pop, and Jarvis is outside. I thought you might be getting bored, so I was wondering if you wanted a tour of the district, or if you wanted to go see anything. Dinner won't be until later, and then the orb ritual this evening.
Jarvis, have you ever seen the orb ritual before?
No,
There's a guard just in the room.
I've stood outside. That's about it.
Oh, interesting. What do you guys want to do?
I mean, I definitely want to see the ritual.
I want to see the ritual too, but are we
Well,
going
that's
to?
later tonight.
Well, it also
So-
looks like you're going to be part of the ritual, so
Yay!
seeing it would be up
I
front.
would like to
personally.
learn this shield spell before we go to the ritual, guys.
Really helpful.
Okay, if you want to stay behind, you're more than welcome.
Yeah, I
to...
think
I'll take
that
a- I'll
sounds
take a
like
tour
a
of the
good
ritual.
idea.
Stabbing preventative measure.
I'll take the tour.
Okay,
I will follow.
Yeah.
Bo and
Any
I
others?
will follow on the tour because Bo likes to walk around.
yeah.
Bye,
You can
Pockets. I'm
ride
sure
him
you'll
out.
be fine all alone. Get that shield spell done.
Have fun.
Have fun.
Yeah, it's going to take you about 8 hours to transcribe and do it in the arcane language that you use.
So if I hit add, will it add it
Phonetics.
like when it's ready? Or...
I'll do that. Let's see.
Because I may have just clicked learn by accident. Can I unlearn it?
Yeah, you should be able to. So Bo actually, or
Yeah, I didn't even see it.
Jarvis takes you out. We are on Wednesday, right? Yes. He takes you out of the room, and he kind of like he's not really like guarding you any longer. He's just kind of walking you around. And he points out certain features like he takes you to a gallery, and there's paintings in there of the previous council members. They're all very well done. He takes you to another tree, and it's like a museum almost. These are our most treasured artifacts, blah, 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 and he points to certain things, and there are guards everywhere. Yes, there are guards everywhere.
Oh wait, I don't necessarily steal things. Sorry, wrong day.
Not bad. Not bad there.
I'm a nice, friendly druid.
By the way,
Hmm?
you need to add a cantrip and 2 spells anyway because you got them when you leveled up.
Boom.
Oh, okay.
So do that first.
So add a cantrip.
Yeah.
Cantrip.
But anyway, you go to manage spells and then add spells.
Oh, yeah,
And it says 6
out.
out of 8 and then 3 out of 4. So he shows you around. Is there anything that you want to do? Any stores that you would like to find? Anything that you'd like to see?
Alright, is there like a blacksmith or whatever, like weapon store?
Oh, absolutely. We make our own armor and weapons for this part of the city.
I'd like to check that out.
Okay. He takes you to a blacksmith.
What kind of weapons do they?
They got. You look around the shop, and it's a slight male elf. But in your experience, elves are a hell of a lot stronger than they look. But you look around, and you see like swords and maces and a lot of bows, arrows, things like that.
That's great.
So like
What are you looking for?
rapier or warhammer or something like that.
Not so much warhammers around these parts.
Hell's more blades.
Yeah, like light blades. There are a couple rapiers around. Yeah, they seem like pretty well-made rapiers. All Are you gonna ask about?
Yeah, I'll ask about the rapiers.
Okay, I need to do that somewhere else.
I just saw that some game got put on Steam that like you like rape people in a zombie apocalypse. Like,
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah.
I should probably pull
Wait,
out
you
the
do
player
what?
handbook.
Like that's the point of the game. Like it's a zombie apocalypse setting, but like you go around and like you're a rapist and you rape people.
Wow.
What game
Yeah.
is this?
It's
I'll
horrible.
find the name. Yeah, it's horrible. And like the thing is like they added it to the Steam game network anyways because I think like it fits within their criteria of like allowing
That's
basically
historical.
anything.
Wasn't something added to Steam too where you basically go around attacking LGBTQ
Yeah,
people
yeah.
and like
I'm not sure, that was Steam
Yeah.
or not, but yeah, apparently, like, they're like, kind of like, see, like, how quickly, whatever freedom of information or something would be.
That's
Yeah.
horrible.
Fucking Steam.
Yeah, dude. I mean, a lot of people spent a couple of years making the game, so,
Right.
you know.
Horrible.
I'm just looking at what the cost is for a +1 weapon. Sorry.
Okay.
How much money do you have?
Well, it's party funds.
Yeah. How much money do we have?
ooh,
Are you part of the party?
guys, should I get
I mean,
Yeah.
He's a
do
party.
you think that would
He's a party person.
He's a party.
I should get mending, right?
Yeah.
That means I can fix
780
broken pieces.
I know, right?
No, I-
Mending
I had it.
might do
Yeah.
that. I remember one
708
time
gold,
someone had
76
mending in a
silver
different
pieces,
D&D that it could
and
only
11 copper
mend.
pieces.
Cool.
Says a single break or
Copper.
tear in an object you touch. If it's a broken
Yeah,
chain,
just like
two halves of a
our
broken key,
Monday game.
or an
Monday.
oak. As long as it's no longer than 1 foot, I can mend it. So like
I'm the
the
one that
mask
keeps the
that was
most notes,
broken, I
like-
could be like,
I keep the most notes.
fix.
So
Yeah,
I keep
true.
track of the money.
I mean, it's just a cantrip, so it's like
You can do it 100
Where's
times,
your
right?
private ledger?
Can you do that for cantrips? Cantrips you can
It's
do like
private.
100 times.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
You can do as many times as you want. Yeah.
So now I need prepared spells.
Ultimately, if he's not keeping track,
Of what? Keeping track of what?
what? Huh?
Guys, I can mend things now.
Oh,
As long as it's
Like,
not
like you're
longer than.
domestic?
Well, no,
Because,
like as long as it's
things?
not more than 1 foot,
Yeah.
I can just touch it
Like
and
mending
fix
the
it. So
mask.
like
Okay,
keys,
so
if there's a
then-
key and it's broken in 2, I can just go
Hmm.
and it's a full key. Or like the mask, I could be like,
There's no parameters if
Okay.
you use
Yeah. So
magic.
there's
Can
a
Mend broken.
there's a regular rapier and there's one that's really
Or
like
diamonds.
the owner actually cautions you against touching the
Boy
blade.
diamonds.
It's that sharp.
Yeah, so it's like
box.
+1,
Yeah.
but it's like
Single man.
Can you
500.
take my blade box, please?
Yeah, they're really expensive.
Yeah.
How much? 500 for what?
spells.
The
A
+1
+1
rapier.
rapier.
That looks really nice though.
Yeah,
Are
it's-
you a rapier kind of guy?
Your rapierist.
You're a
He's a
rapier?
little rapier.
Rapierist?
She's a little rapier than most.
Little rapier.
Is that
Um,
lowercase r? Or
Is that?
Most
Uh,
rape people.
huh?
Or is that what
how
you're
else do
looking
you
for?
rapier people?
I really want a Warhammer, but maybe like scimitars or morning stars around.
There's like a morning star off in the corner that's not really exciting. Scimitars, yeah, there's a couple scimitars in there.
They are the best.
Nice looking ones.
Nothing out of the ordinary.
God damn it.
500 gold.
Yeah.
Wow.
Weapons, like
That's not a
+1
lot.
weapons and shit are not are not.
I mean, what else do we really need? I mean, besides weapons, upgrading of weapons, we really don't need any rations. We don't really need any. What's it
Yeah.
called?
I got my armor.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
rapier's
You got an
25
armor
gold
too,
pieces.
right?
Oh, not the rapier,
The
the
scimitar.
skimiter. 25, yeah.
Yeah, it
25
falls, like,
gold.
Yeah.
that's
But they're
what
just
I
regular.
What was that?
Regular.
1d4 plus 4
What
temporary
is-
hit points for the duration.
What is the
That's
weasel or
false
badger
life.
or whatever we got hide
false
armor
life.
for?
That's neat.
Luna's
Bolstering
companion? Or
yourself
was
with
it
necromantic
yours?
facsimile of life, you gain 1d4
Oh, the
plus
honor?
4 temporary
Yeah.
hit points
It was
for the
Rhino.
duration.
Rhino, I heard armor. What was his name?
Columbus.
Clovis, yeah.
So if I get
Okay.
hit pretty hard,
So he's
the
showing you
next time I
around.
can just be like,
You find the armor or the
These
weapon
points
shop.
back.
There's an armor shop next door. Nothing as fine as you just got.
And you said mine was the armor I got was like emerald green and
It was an emerald green enameled with silver filigree.
okay, cool.
So it's probably worth twice as much as a normal set of
Right.
plate armor is.
cool.
Hmm.
And it's real pretty.
Anything else
Real
that I
pretty.
want to see around here?
Yeah.
Any
I
specific
mean,
the
armor or
was nice.
weapons?
I mean, you're in the Singorn district. You're in the Elven district.
Armor?
Yeah,
No,
but
Oh,
well,
you
I
have
don't
you have
need
full plate
anything
now?
for myself.
I have
And it's green?
full plate.
Just looking around is kind of
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
You see like people walking by.
Pretty.
Some of them are wearing very plain clothes. Some of them are very elaborate.
Oh,
Most
Oh,
of
it's
the
20
denizens in here have
they're all elves.
they are
No,
mostly
that's-
elves. Yes, there are other
with
races
the armor
that
and the shield.
live in live within the district.
Yeah.
It's not exclusive. It's
No,
just
with shield effect
this is where the elves originated in the
It's
city.
22 with shield effect.
Any
I'm never
merchant
gonna come to
caravans,
it.
or
I'm
maybe
assuming you
like
don't need it.
a,
That's
almost like a
That's why I wanted heavy armor.
a
So
place
like,
where all the merchants,
I
like the
could
merchants'
like,
field or something,
pretty
where
much
they
back and
arrive
hit
and
and heal
then
everybody
they
else.
sell their wares to
Um,
other merchants to distribute.
Not so
Or
much
something.
in
whole
this
point.
district.
Huh.
You have to go downtown for more of that stuff.
Okay.
Look at them into a cow.
I mean, there are people coming in and out,
I was just looking at
with
the small
shipments of
animals,
things.
because they don't do any,
and they usually come over the bridge.
investigating, you know?
There are pulleys that go up and down the trees.
Mm-hmm.
But most of the stuff that he's showing you are in the actual trees. It's not on the ground.
Is anybody looking at us as we're walking around?
There's a couple people that walk by and they're like, and then walk on, just like everywhere else. And some people that are staring. Are you wearing your armor, or are you just okay? Yeah, so
unless
they're
I'm in
kind
the
of
back, I'm
looking at
always
you a
wearing
little
armor.
bit funny because they don't see humans wearing elven armor very often. They're looking at him really
know, I
funny
look
because he's
good.
gigantic and he
I
looks
know
like
you
a big
love the
cow.
armor. I look
Good.
Ish.
I'm looking at my reflection in your armor.
Kobolds are not common.
Green tinge.
I mean, you're used to it though. It's not something that's like, oh man, I'm so like offended all the time.
Yeah, I know.
You're like pretty laid back about it because yeah, you aren't very common. Your people travel in small groups. They live in secluded groves.
Yeah.
They're not in cities most of the time.
Autographs
Bro.
for 2 silver. Honestly. Genuine Furbolg.
You see a couple of little kids run up to you and they kind of like,
Yeah, you're not an animal.
And then
Shoot,
run away.
Shoot.
and they scream a little bit and laugh as they run away.
Give me a
Can I use my passive perception to see
Look
if
at all that
anybody's
not
inside
hair
or
on
anything like
them.
that in an active way? Or is it
Ugh.
What are you
passive?
looking for?
I'm looking for anybody in a hooded cloak that seems suspicious. Anybody
dark
watching
skin.
us?
I'm
or
So you're
moving
wandering
us?
around actually watching people?
Yeah,
like
I'm,
looking for
I'm,
tails
I'm
and
making
things?
myself a target to be watched.
Okay.
green eyes.
Yeah.
My
Roll
so
perception.
The armor's really.
Cute.
$40 and whammies.
Deeps.
Ooh, 9
You
plus.
A little
A
bit.
little
Where are
natural.
you?
Whatever you find, just on the road. Yeah. It'll be.
11. No,
You grew up
you
with,
don't.
like,
You don't. It doesn't seem like anybody's tailing you. You're
like,
looking
a
around. I mean, there are
bar,
people in
like,
cloaks,
ale
but
house, so it's
they're not trying to hide from you.
Like her parents.
You
had
see a couple
ran,
people in an
like,
alley
the
kind of
bar.
talking in cloaks, but it's common
But I
for
mean,
a
the armor's
city.
covering it all. So.
Okay.
But I mean, does the armor
Alright.
have nipples?
Nothing. Nothing suspicious that you.
Did you
would
put?
think
Does the armor have nipples?
of. No, it does not.
Oh.
Sorry, Robin.
No, it's plain. It's actually a little bit uncomfortable. You know, your
tight.
titties and stuff.
Yeah.
But you know, you've got a solid chest anyway, so it's
Yeah.
not that big of a deal.
They didn't give her armor that was for her titties.
They don't have human armor; they have elven armor.
Elves don't have titties?
Not like
Not
hers.
Yeah.
Well,
They're like
mine
the
are
size
kinda-
down.
Like mommy elf titties?
Really.
Full of milk?
Elves are very
Elves
live.
and mommy milk?
They don't get like that
titties.
giant chest.
I want that. I want that. I
No
want
MILF
that.
titties.
No battle milk titties? Hmm. I kind of,
I want a,
My MILF.
my MILF.
My MILF brings all the boys to the yards.
All right. So he's still showing us around.
Yeah, he's showing you around. You wander around for about 3-4 hours. You grab little things to eat. You know,
try the foods.
yeah, delicacies, the things like street food that you don't normally get
Right.
in the other districts. They're interesting. They're very vegan, very light, very green, very like
Mine is higher.
not very filling.
Oh,
You're used
weird.
to like some
I didn't
meat
take
with your
it.
shit
Yeah.
and potatoes and starches, and these are
Kinda gonna be-
Okay, there you go.
As a monk.
as a monk. Okay, if
I'm
you
not
want to
really so
stick to
sure
that
that's
monastic tradition, you're more than welcome
Yeah.
I
to.
feel like
Yeah,
that's
I'll tell
the
you I'm like-
outlier.
You're,
Called Snowball Storm.
Um,
What? I think it's called Bukkake Video.
oh my god. But other than that, it's another district of the city.
Okay.
You've wandered through to get places. through certain districts, and it's very different than other places. Obviously, everything's made of wood. They're like the buildings are actually made of wood, but they don't look. It doesn't look like a shanty town. It looks like they're grown there. Like the buildings are actually grown there instead of built.
The trees are trained into a building shape.
Yes, yes.
Interesting.
And you can tell that they keep the population pretty low in this district,
Yeah.
just because they can't just build a house whenever they want to.
Right.
And you also know, do a knowledge check, I guess.
What kind of knowledge?
That was the next question.
It's a roll plus intelligent modifier.
22.
Your intelligence modifier is
INT.
11.
Is that intelligence?
Modifier.
Yeah, but the modifier, so the plus.
Oh, I'm sorry. 0, 11.
Yeah, you need a 10. You know that elves are long-lived. They don't give birth very often. So it's pretty much controlled.
Any elvish titty bar?
No. Not that Jarvis would lead. You ask him about it, it's like, well, it's kind of members only, sorry. And there's only one in the district, and it's members only, it's very exclusive, and
How do I become a member?
no, you cannot.
Damn
It's
it, Jarvis.
elves only, I'm sorry.
Ugh.
And he starts leading you back to the...
That's racist.
The main tree.
Damn it, Jarvis.
Yeah, it is.
It is. Anybody got a trench coat and another short person?
I mean, I'm new to your customs.
Alright, well, we head back, I guess.
Yeah, you head back.
I guess I don't like children. That's fine.
And as you get back, there's been a couple people walking in and out of your room, pockets, but you've been so focused on scribing this spell and divining others apparently that you haven't noticed that as you walk in, they've laid out clean clothes for all of you, and surprisingly, they all look like they fit. It's all white linen, nothing special. Very simple, but very well made. Very clean looking. And Jarvis sees them and he's like, it looks like you need to take a bath and get ready, because they will be ready for you soon.
So they want us to wear these clothes.
Absolutely.
Detect magic on them.
Okay.
You're casting Detect Magic on them?
Yeah.
They're not magical.
Alright.
There's
I'm in the bath
scary
first.
about it.
Bye, guys.
What's going on in there?
You gotta really get over it.
Roll for initiative.
No.
As you run in there, Bo gets really excited and runs in behind
Oh,
you
I
and
was
dives in.
Yeah, Bo can come.
Oh, Bo. Get in there, no peanut butter. Rule 1. Put that ring back on. No peanut butter. So, you come out after a while. We all take our turns.
Yeah, you all take your
All
turns.
showered beautifully in linen.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
got a lid of an elven blow dryer. I don't know if they have one.
No.
Mm.
No,
I do
you're
a
really
nice little-
soggy right now, yeah.
I do a nice little braid in my
They've
hair.
got towels and stuff, so you can dry off. You and Bo take a little bit longer to get ready just because you're
Trying to make
covered in
myself
fur.
pretty. I've never
I
been
do
to
a
a
nice
whole
little
moon
braid.
ceremony, so I'm a little bit nervous.
Are you sure you can do
I do a nice little braid
Yeah.
and have it.
Ooh,
like,
Yeah, I have all
Right.
these level
Right,
one
yeah.
ones that I can use.
Make it like all viney.
Level 1 and level 2.
Elveny.
Oh, okay.
Whatever
I
else.
gotta read that.
I have one more that I
Okay.
can learn.
Okay.
And then
Do you,
I have to learn this other
A
one.
hair handling check?
So I can have it. So I have 2 that I have to put in.
I think
now,
that would be
but
a
then I
performance.
can learn
Yeah, and I'll
That'd
deal
be
with that
a
when we
performance.
do it.
Like literally both rolled like natural 20 and like floral crowns.
I know.
Should I learn this?
So I braided my
laughter
hair.
one?
I braided
So
Snuzzles
if I cast
hair
it,
in
Okay.
one of the
Yeah.
elvish
Creatures.
vibe looking thing.
If
Yeah.
they
Okay.
roll
And then I
really
just did a nice
down,
little long.
Do you have Druid
and go
Craft?
into a hit of
Do you have Druid?
like a
You
finish
should.
laughter.
I should. I
So
don't think I do. Is that?
But
that
because
was
they
like
fall
can't.
down,
That one
they're
seems
more
like it's like
prone.
less useful than
So
like
I
all
like
the
that.
other
No,
ones.
it's less
But you
useful
think
than
it's
Sexer in
for
this
knock them
moment.
down
Is
with
it for
laughter.
hair?
You guys kill them.
No, it's not for hair.
When I was a bard, one of the spells.
It's not for hair, but you can use it to, like,
was
make
casting
flowers to put in your
spells
hair,
or
and
something like that.
Oh.
You can
So
grow
for
vines
instance,
that'll hold
I
your
could-
hair up
I
and
could
things
go
like that.
other
Yeah,
creatures out
Okay.
and make
there's lots of
them
really
alive
cool stuff you can do with it.
Yeah.
and allowing
That
them
instead
to
of
cast.
fire. I like fire.
And also casting in another direction for them to chase something. Yeah.
Well, I can also do this
Guess I
like
can get rid of my clothing
disguise
one.
self, or no, not that one. there's second level ones. That's even
Your
better.
hair will really look mighty
That's
now.
a lot.
I do
I'm
love
surprised it
that.
doesn't just sort of kind of.
Where is
Well,
It's a
you-
lot of spells.
Bonfire.
Yeah, to choose from.
Yeah, I mean to choose from.
Yeah.
There's a lot to go through.
Oh yeah.
So you had
Yeah, that's why I thought you guys were doing
Do
it the
your
last
hair.
2 weeks while you were off and can pull this up on any computer.
I literally just went directly home and I started just.
Oh yeah, I could do a fucking
I thought I
Pocahontas
added both of them
thing, painted all the
already.
colors of the
Oh,
wind.
Last time before I left.
Well, you did your stat boost, but not your spells.
Inputs all
That's right,
into.
that's right.
When it
Okay.
comes to weight carried, when it says unencumbered, that means that I'm not weighted down, that I move
Nope.
freely and I'm fine.
You can move
Okay.
just fine.
Until it hits a certain number.
Yep, and it'll do that on its own.
Okay. I'm rested and then I'm wearing my
Linens.
Linens. Okay, so yeah, you put on your linen clothes, and they fit surprisingly well.
all the right corners and
Yeah, pretty much. You guys look pretty darn good in them.
Mhm.
They're simple. They provide sandals as well.
I loot the sandals.
Huh?
Loot the sandals.
They're sandals?
I loot them.
What do you mean loot them? They're
I
sandals.
take them and put them on.
Yeah, you should.
And loot
That's
them.
what they're for.
Loot the sandals. Just like looting things.
And Jarvis opens the door, looks around. Everyone ready?
I took off all my.
I'm ready.
Oh, yeah,
Bo,
I should have
I told to sit and wait outside the chamber.
Since we're technically not wearing.
Outside your chamber?
I'm still wearing my headband
Outside
and my
the,
ring.
No,
protection.
fuck yeah. This is a formal occasion.
Is he going?
Outside the outside the chamber that we're going into to do the org thing.
So you're taking him with you?
Oh,
Can I
guess
say-
don't have
can
my
I say
shit
guard?
either.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm down to 13.
It's
Or warning.
It takes-
no, he doesn't understand
Let's
that.
see if he does
Okay.
like your rules.
You take him with you. He follows. Bo is like kind of plodding along behind you. Jarvis kind of looks funny at him, but whatever. and-
Did they make him a little linen
White
thing?
linen.
No, they didn't.
scarf.
No.
No. And you get. He takes you back to the actual banquet hall that you were in earlier this morning, and you say stay. And Bo kind of looks at you, and as you walk in the door, he follows you in.
Aww, thank you.
You look around, and it's different fare from this morning. It's very, there's water, there's some berries, and again, groups of people kind of milling around, mostly seers, or I'm sorry, the speakers, the three speakers. Tiranya's there. There's a couple more elves there as well that you have not met before, but they're all talking in small groups. Speaker Erin looks a lot better. She looks like she took a nap and she's feeling a lot better. There's guards posted at the doors, inside and out. There's guards in every corner. But
Oops, sorry.
you look around, and the food is very simplistic. It's very, it looks like, in your opinion, this food is meant to cleanse you. It's meant to, like, not make you shit or anything,
Yeah.
but not to corrupt the body.
Yeah.
And you also notice around that you look up at the ceiling, and it's not just the regular ceiling anymore. It's very... It looks like somebody cast an illusion spell of the night sky in a full moon. So it looks like it would actually reflect the normal sky if you could actually see it.
So like the Hogwarts ceiling.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, but clear night sky, pure white light coming down from the moon. It's very beautiful, and it's not exactly bright in here. You look around, and on the tables there are candles, candelabras, but they're very different candles than you've ever seen before. They look like normal candles, except for their flame is a pure white light, reminiscent of starlight. So they kind of wink in and out almost. So you get the feeling that this is a very sacred, and people are talking in hushed tones. And the speakers are actually wearing very similar outfits to yours as well. Their hair is very simplistically combed back, tied at the neck, and falls straight down. Nothing elaborate. They're not even wearing their circlets. And Alvaro walks up to you. He's pretty tall. He's almost as tall as you are. Very thin. It seems you found the clothes. Help yourself. I apologize. It's not a hearty fare. It's meant to cleanse instead of fill. and we will be getting the ceremony soon.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
We
I'll
appreciate,
roll.
no, we appreciate your hospitality. Is there anything we should know before the ceremony starts? We know this is a very formal occasion, and I don't want to make a fool inadvertently.
Absolutely. I appreciate your request and your concern. Basically, we keep quiet. We would normally, the four of us would go down, touch the orb, and cleanse it. Each done in its own way. It is not corrupt. It is susceptible to your feelings, so I suggest while you purify your body, you purify your minds as well. Since we will be needing your help on this, you will need to think clearly. We need your good thoughts and intentions to go into the orb to continue its purification. Once the ceremony starts, there will be no speaking at all. We will guide you down there. You've already been, but we will lead you down there. We will shut off the chamber, and you will be left alone. We will know when the ceremony's over.
Wait. We will be left alone?
Yes, you will.
How do
In
we
the
know
chamber
this
by
isn't a
ourselves.
trap?
Yes.
That's normal.
So-
Yes.
Okay.
With the other
Speakers?
members of the speaker.
No. Just
It's
you
just
four.
us.
With us?
That seems.
There are not 4 speakers any longer for this
Okay.
time, for this month, so it will have to be the 4 of you. And since you've already purified orbs, I don't think it should be a problem.
Absolutely. We got this.
Sure.
And we have none of our weapons or anything. We're just in linens.
As far as you know, yes.
We can't carry anything. Okay.
We would prefer that you did not, or we cannot let you in the chamber. No harm should come to the orb.
Can you
Both of
ensure
us.
the safety of the
He will be staying outside.
Oh, okay. Give him lots of treats.
We'll see.
Aw, Bo. All right.
So, about half an hour goes by. You eat stuff. You drink the water, and the water tastes different than regular water. It tastes cleaner, purer. No, it's not drugged. Well, it is kind of drugged, but in a magical sort of way that's supposed to help you instead of hurt you.
Yay.
And you feel yourself not.
Smaller
You're not
water.
stoned. You just feel very clear. You feel your vision sharpen. You feel your body move a little bit more lively. And for another like 2 hours, you guys get a +1 to your constitution.
Yes.
It's CBD water.
For the next what? Hour?
Like 2 hours.
+1 constitution.
Yeah.
+1.
Wait,
Do
do we
that.
add
Just like
+1?
other modifier?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's to your constitution modifier. Sorry.
Yeah. But I mean, like, we.
Just remember it.
Okay.
It's for the next 2 hours. It's not a big deal.
That's fine.
That's what the dry erase markers are for, so you can write it down on the board. Any of the pointy ones over there, but
remember.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Can I
it's-
take one? I'll leave one for animal things, maybe. Animal things.
+1 constitution.
mod. Okay, so that works for saving throws, anything constitution based.
Cool.
About a half an hour passes. You feel fantastic, and you kind of want to. It almost feels like you want to just shout and like run around. You feel great.
It's ecstasy.
But the mood in the room is very quiet and somber and focused on this. And at about a half an hour later, they tap you on the shoulder and motion for you to follow them. One of the speakers picks up one of the candelabras and leads a procession out of the room. They space themselves in between you, one in the middle of you, one behind you. The guards follow as quietly as they can. Armor is loud. Sorry about it. But you hear singing in the background. I don't know why my music is turned off, but no. No. Absolutely not. I know, right? I had a song too.
Greatest Showman starts playing.
That is not it.
It's not that great of a movie, but the music's good.
LV Home
Well, I don't have it prepared. Anyway, you hear a soft singing in the background, and you kind of look around, and it's Taranya singing in the background. It's very quiet. It just kind of fills your head. It kind of focuses you even more a little bit. And you get down to the chamber. The chamber opens up, and you feel the soft green light, the orb, flow over you. And you kind of feel drawn towards it almost. The speakers branch off. The guards branch off and stand to the side. Taranya keeps on singing, but then stops as the doors close behind you. And you are alone in the room with the orb. You feel a slight pull. Like it wants you to get closer. It needs something from you.
My blood.
We all feel the same pull.
Yes. You all feel it. And it's not so much in your body, but in your mind.
I take a step forward and I move towards the orb.
Do we all like?
Yeah,
we all
start
like
moving
touch it
forward.
together, or what did you guys do last time?
Last time, we each person
Well,
that touched
last
it.
time Pockets touched it, like he always does.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's
And then-
those like special cases. Maybe this one's gonna be all like.
I think we
Good
should probably all
attention.
touch it
We
at
should all
the
touch
same
it.
time.
Yeah, I think so
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Because if we're gonna get sucked in, well, here, look, green orb.
Yeah.
We're touching it.
the green
orb.
It's like the opposite. It's like it's like on the count of three. Respectfully, sinfully.
Here we go. It's a little bit better.
I was gonna play the orgy from Conan the Barbarian.
Yeah.
Do you remember that one?
No. Thank God.
What?
So as you get closer, you get near the orb. You get about 5 feet away, and a familiar sensation to you guys. You feel something in you being pulled out, and you feel it's not like being ripped out. This time, it's not being like thrown into the orb. You feel your spirit and your being just kind of float out of your body, and you see yourselves behind you as you float closer towards the orb. As you reach out, you get about 6 inches from it, and you get taken into the orb, absorbed almost, not sucked in. And inside you are surrounding a large tree. It's about 30, 40 feet tall. Its branches are extremely thick. Its trunk is probably about a 20-foot diameter all the way around. Its roots are dug deep into the ground, and its branches, the canopy spreads out to about a 50-foot radius. It's huge. Pink flowers among like newly grown green leaves are blowing in an unfelt breeze. And as you get closer, I need you to do a concentration check.
Concentration.
Almost
Yeah.
one.
Sorry,
What is
concentration.
this?
Concentration.
But keep on your plus one too.
So it is your roll plus your Constitution modifier.
15.
Okay.
Whoa,
22.
but an extra plus
16?
1?
Yeah.
So,
Like your
17.
Yeah, like
Because my constitution is plus 1.
so it'd be plus 2.
Yeah.
Plus 2, yeah.
Yeah, don't forget
Oh, wait.
the modifier.
16.
16.
Oh wait, no, that's constitution saving throw. So
It's the same.
No, it's the same. Constitution's the same.
Well,
Well, how
maybe
come this says
not.
plus
It's
zero
at
and
least
this says
that. It
plus
could be
one?
better depending what
Oh,
you say.
that's
though.
weird.
My saving throw is higher than my
My,
Yeah.
my
Depends
zero
on
Where did you
is
find
higher.
concentration?
Saving,
You
your
guys?
proficiency
On the
in it?
far left where it says
Like I have
right at the
and
top.
strength.
Yeah, that's Constitution. It's the same thing.
The very top. So it's not this. It's not your saving throw. It's this.
Yeah.
His saving throw is different than his constitution.
Yeah, it depends on things.
Yeah.
So,
So
am I
you're-
just 16 then? and
You're
not
at
17?
16, yeah. And I'm at 16 as well.
Okay.
15.
15.
sorry.
22.
22.
15.
Oh. All right. So as you do that, you feel something being kind of sucked out of you. It doesn't hurt. It just feels like something that the tree is asking for, and you're glad to give it. And it flows into the tree, and you see it kind of flutter a little bit more and move, and I need you to do one more.
Ah! National 20.
Nice.
21.
I just
Okay.
love the tree.
9.
I'm a druid. It's kind
16.
16. All right, you guys did a great job. You move closer to the tree, you float closer, and you actually place your hands on the trunk, and something flows from your palm. You can barely see it, but a small green globe flows from the trunk, or from your hand into the trunk. And you
just,
see.
like, speak with plants. I don't know if there's any
Uh,
kind of dialogue-y things I can pick up from
it. You can't speak with it. It's not
it.
really.
It's like an empathetic thing.
You're getting the sense that it's not really a plant. It's an actual sentient being in the shape of a tree.
Something that we could.
But you can feel satisfaction. All of you can feel satisfaction and wholeness coming from the tree, just emanating from it. And I need you to do one more check.
Well, right. 11.
Total.
Yeah, 11.
18.
18?
8.
16.
16. Okay, good. As you see this light go in, you also see your hand kind of move towards and into the trunk of the tree. And you end up entering the actual tree, and instead of it being like stuck in a tree, oh shit, you can actually see all of a sudden. You get the sense that you are the tree. You can see where its roots go. You can see where the roots come up and join other trees. You can see through the canopy. You can see through every single leaf. You can see the entirety of the Singorn district. You can see people walking around. You can see people praying. You can see people eating. You can see people sleeping. You can see everything because you are part of the system, part of the tree, part of the actual life of this being inside this orb. And then you fall asleep. Your eyes close. You relax. And the next thing you know, you open your eyes and you are standing exactly where you were previously. You see the glow from the orb, a brighter green. Not a like corrupted green, but like brand new life, like a tea leaf sprouting from the ground.
Light green.
And you also feel that satisfaction again. That thank you, like it's also a thank you. Well, that's basically what it is. It's a thank you. You feel it like kind of blessing you and thanking you. And you now have that +1 for an entire 24 hours.
Word!
Let's go drinking.
Yes.
And as you come to and you feel that, the doors open and you hear the singing again. And the speakers stand across the doorway, and as you walk out, they surround you and take you back up the stairs. The doors close behind.
Caesared.
Huh?
We're getting Caesared.
Yeah.
We're done with you.
You don't have
No,
enough
they're
holes.
candelabras. They're just escorting you. They're not like poking you with them.
Last time we were here. I don't know.
I know exactly. No Caesaring this
Yeah,
time.
okay.
No Brutusing. They lead you up and they lead you back to the banquet hall. And instead of the meager fare that was there before, it is a full-blown fucking banquet. Let me see if I can find. Boop, 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 boop. Not that one. I should have thought of this earlier, huh?
Banquet music?
Yeah, banquet music. It's a little bit lighter, but yeah.
They're
that
elves.
works. Yeah.
Yeah.
There are
Tavern.
elves dancing in the corner. The mood has completely changed. It's been taken care of. It's done. Another successful purification. Everybody gets a little bit louder. They set the candeliers or the candelabras down. The flames turn into regular normal flames. The ceiling is normal with chandeliers hanging from it. Bright light. Everybody's in a really good mood, and you are free to do what you need to. It's a party. There is wine in the corner.
Masturbate.
I'm having a drink.
We're on drugs. Let's feel good.
Drinking it.
Yeah. The wine it tastes like pure honey, but lighter. And you kind of have a feeling it's
Bees
not.
make it?
No. Yes and no. You don't know, but it tastes like honey, but it's not thick and viscous. It's very clean. It's almost like drinking water, but with a heavy honey taste. It flows down your palate. It burns slightly, and then you immediately need to roll a Constitution saving throw for everybody who's drinking.
rather
14.
drink.
If you're not drinking, it's no big deal.
Saving throw?
Saving throw.
Oh, it's 21 then.
Okay.
Shit.
Are you drinking or no? Yes.
Yeah,
Okay,
I rolled.
You're doing great.
6. Did you roll a natural 1?
No, 2.
Okay. Yeah. So you guys, it hits you hard. You're just like, dude, that water was way too much. It hit me. I haven't eaten for a while, and you are tipsy. You two,
Yay.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, this tastes really good.
I'm itty bitty.
And you start kind of like grazing. There is fresh meat. There's like fresh cheese. There's food. You guys are getting kind of peckish because you need something to fill your stomach. There's bread, and everything
fried.
smells and looks delicious. Whatever happened down there, everything tastes better. It feels better going down. It's easier to chew. It's amazing. The lights are a little bit brighter, but not bright enough that it's blinding. You're a little more focused on things. Now you're stoned.
I'd like to somewhat stumble up to one of the speakers.
Oh, you're fine. You don't need to stumble.
Oh, okay. This is stone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
we can drink.
Yeah.
in like the good way, not
Yeah,
the
yeah.
shitty way.
Awesome. I'd just like to be like.
Which one?
Let's see. Which one is the nicest, probably? Alvarell likes us, right? This is the one that gave us our linens? No, she's. Well, the lady was like the. Okay.
Erin
Aaron and
and
Erin?
Egrain.
Yeah.
Did we
so-
see Erin?
Which one likes us
She-
best,
Yeah,
though?
she's here.
She looks better.
She looks fine.
Does anyone really like us?
Oh, hold on.
How about the one that was singing?
That's Tarania.
Tarania.
Yeah, she's not speaker.
Yeah, she's around.
Yeah. I'll go up to Tarania. That was lovely. It's just beautiful. It was my first time partaking in such a ceremony.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I loved especially this beautiful light effect that you had with the candles earlier. I was wondering maybe if you could teach me how to do this as I do produce flame. I have like a little flame above my hand. Maybe you could show me how to make it starlight.
Yeah, so she kind of starts chanting a little bit, and she casts minor illusion on it, and
I
it
see.
turns into like a sparkly.
Okay, so it's illusion of light, not
It is an
okay,
illusion, yes.
Okay.
Yes, it's not permanent. It's an illusion to set the mood.
Okay. I wanted to see if I
Is
could do
Nicole
that
the
instead
sexual?
of produce flame.
Yes, Nokomis is standing right over her shoulder.
I say hi to Nicolas.
Hi,
And I ask her how she's doing.
I'm doing really good actually. That was a lot of fun. Yeah, I've only been to like one of these, and it was yeah. They let me do it. They let me go. They let me see
Cool.
like what I got to see. What happened in there?
Oh, sorry. She's the fawn.
Yes.
Right, and she just
Super
said that
excited.
was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Ah,
Sorry.
God.
Your puns are just awful today.
God.
So I jokingly asked, so do we purify the orb?
Want me to mend your
Who are you
mind?
asking?
Are you asking
Just
the
people that
general?
remember, we walked over to them. We all walked over.
I think he's
Tarania.
telling.
He's talking to
Nicolas.
Tarania, and you're talking to Nokomis.
Yeah.
Right. So who do you want to talk
Well,
to?
I just stumble over and I just say, so do we purify the orb?
Daughter.
Yes, that's why the door's open.
Okay.
And
Yes, you did a fantastic job. It only took 2 hours.
Mhm. I whistle at Bo and grab one of those bottles and crawl underneath the table that have the bottles.
So you found her in the previous orb.
And I'm like,
Awesome.
I look at Bo and I was like, I know you can't drink, so I'm gonna drink for you.
And he walks over and like right up the side of your face, and then he kind of like nuzzles into your crotch where you're like holding like a little plate of food and starts.
She's an honest. Okay.
Everything you got.
want, buddy, as much as you want. If anything happens, we can get paid. He just looks at me.
How
Go
much
get
are
more
you drinking?
food.
Are you drinking more?
I'm drinking more.
Okay, then do a Constitution saving throw for me.
Maybe.
It's like a protest.
He gets drunk. Ooh, 16.
Yeah, you're doing pretty well actually. For half a bottle in, you're doing pretty well. That food kind of helps out a little bit.
Yeah,
So,
I need some food.
Yeah, do it.
So I get more food.
Okay.
More food, and then I return back to my previous undisclosed
Okay.
under the table.
You see some of the elves that are there and kind of like
Oh yeah.
and walk away trying to ignore you.
And I wink at them. I'm happy.
And then you pull the tablecloth over you, and you are under that table.
Hidden, if you will.
I'm not drinking anymore because I want to try and sober up. I feel like something
Go ahead and do a stealth check with disadvantage for me.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh.
Disadvantage.
Yeah.
Roll tries to take the lowest.
Oh, Lord. Why does this thing keep
I hope one is a one.
resizing on me?
Because you keep doing
Or he's trying to stealth.
No, but I don't
He's
know
trying
how
to
to get
slide
it
under
back.
the table.
There it
Use
is.
the
It'll snap
table.
back.
Yeah, yeah. It just takes a minute to
While
load.
drunk.
4,
4.
Oh, what's
That's
6.
Yeah. So you guys, you guys hear a small like shattering noise, and you look over and you see Omi trying to crawl underneath this table with Bo in tow, as underneath the liquor table.
Oh god.
Then you see a couple of the crystal glasses kind of like fall and smash on the floor, and nobody seems to be like minding it so much. A couple of the servants that you haven't previously seen because they're very well hidden, they stay out of sight. They kind of pop out, clean it up really quick, right the tablecloth, make sure that it's covering him, and then disappear again.
I stick my little hand out and wave.
Your little baby head.
One more bottle down here.
It's like on the top of like reaching out for bottles.
Exactly.
Like a bottle for you is like
A
no
little
normal
bit.
wine bottle
Yeah.
is like a magnum for you.
Oh, yeah.
You're not gonna finish that tonight.
No. Maybe.
What else are you guys doing? You're eating.
I'm eating.
Or-
I've gotten my food and I'm still eating. Down there.
Okay.
Below.
I'll start like dancing. Assuming there's dancing.
Yeah, there's dancing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dancing
it's kind of a
and spinning
slow
around.
dance, but yeah.
Okay, well I'll like slowly start spinning and doing fairy fire. So there's like magical green sparklies everywhere.
Okay. I'm going to try to look up something really quick because maybe I can fix
I
this.
see you dancing, and I start doing that dance that's in Legend.
Oh my god.
Performance.
I started doing the dance from A Knight's Tale.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
See, I'm sweating out the alcohol in case something happens. In
Uh,
case we get
there we go.
raided. I'm like sobering the fuck up.
Alright, a little bit better.
Oh yeah. I figured. I mean.
So it picks up, and you see Nakoma's kind of like,
Okay.
yeah, and she pulls out her panpipes and she starts fluting along and stuff, and she's dancing. You hear her hooves clip-clopping around you guys, and do a dexterity check.
Oh, really?
Ooh.
Oh, well, I'm
Are
down.
you dancing?
dancing.
Okay.
Dexterity check?
Yes.
So just the modifier, right?
8.
Yes.
I am not very dexterous at all, which is true.
12.
Okay. So you kind of peek out from underneath
I'm
the
looking.
table as
Yeah,
all
that's
this
what I was
noise
gonna say.
starts, and you see big, tall Snuzzles,
Oh.
like kind of doing a goth dance where he's like, he can hear the music, but it looks like he's listening to another song.
But I'm living.
Yeah, oh yeah, but he is like
Super,
going crazy, having a good time. You see Titania and Pockets dancing around him with Nokomis, kind of weaving in and out, like ducking every so often underneath his big giant arms and stuff, as you see just glitter fucking everywhere.
Wow.
It is a fucking rave up in this bitch. You guys are having a really good time.
So while I'm peeking out, I'm looking at the elves to see if they're having a good time. With
Some of
us.
them are tapping along, some of them are very stoic and like, fucking humans. But you
Well,
see,
we're not elves. Fucking not elves.
you see Tarania smiling and kind of encouragement. The band that was in the corner kind of starts picking up a little bit more. About 45 minutes of this, you guys go ahead and do a Constitution saving throw with that +1.
Natural.
Nice.
This is not
16.
as good.
3,
8.
8,
11.
11. You two are getting kind of tired. You are going at it. You're
I'm
great.
always
You've got a bottle in
kicking
one
it.
hand, and you've been eating your fruits and berries and
I'm just going
all
around
that.
druid crafting fucking flowers on
Yeah,
everyone.
it's just everywhere.
Like, flowers. I'm doing like the little
Some of the elves are starting to get into it.
Oh.
You are surprisingly doing pretty well, considering like
I've
that
hit
extra
my
food,
plateau.
Yeah.
that Boline is doing really well for you. You're not falling. Like are you still under the table?
No, I have exited the table, but I am close to the buffet table.
Nah.
Yeah, okay, yeah,
I
yeah.
realize
Way
that
to
my
the Morgan
drunkenness is
Andy's
keeping me
table.
out of
You are
fun.
just popping things in your mouth, like where you can reach. It's a party. You guys are having a great time.
I'm throwing food into Bo's mouth.
Yeah, yeah.
Tail's
And
wagging.
nobody's kind of like. You see a couple of the servants kind of flanking Bo a little bit because you notice that his tail is going crazy
Right.
and it starts like hitting things and like it gets even worse because he's really excited and having a good time. And then probably about 15 minutes later, Bo kind of lays down and starts falling asleep. You realize that you keep spilling on the floor and Bo's kind of been lapping it up the entire
What?
time.
Little meat thief.
That's mine.
That's my
Who's a
meat.
bad
Let me
boy?
lick it up.
But after a few hours, the party dies down, and you are escorted back to your rooms. You kind of stumble a little bit, but not too bad. You guys put on a pretty good display of party. And you are back in your room, and you all kind of pass out.
Yeah.
It's been a long day.
Yeah.
Word.
Purifying. That's like having an out-of-body celestial spirit thing. That's exhausting. You guys do this all the time?
A couple times.
Is it always this fun?
If you're
No.
cool, we'll invite
No?
you
No,
again.
never.
It's not normally this fun?
No.
Oh.
I normally almost die every single time.
Oh.
That's not surprising.
Huh. You should do You should do this more often.
So I have a question for you guys. Do you want to keep going because it's 2 o'clock, or you want to cut it short here and then come back either next week or the week after?
I have to be the week after for me.
Okay. So do you want to keep going for another half an hour, or do you want to stop right here?
Because
Because it's a good place to stop, but it's up to you guys.
I'm cool stopping right here because I'm
Okay.
sure that whatever we do from now on, it'll be more than just a half an hour.
Yeah, it
I'd
will.
rather have a nice.
And instead of like a hard stop.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is a hard stop instead of like a.
Well, no,
Yeah.
In the
during
middle of
battle
something,
or
yeah.
something,
Yeah.
or whatever. Yeah.
Yep.
So
Okay.
we pass out. So this is
We go
a
home.
long
just
rest.
fall asleep,
Yes, long
do a
rest.
Long rest.
Yeah.
No, it didn't add those spells to my thing.
Because you have to
It hurts.
you have to prep them. That's why they're under your learnt spells, but they're not under your prepped spells.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, how do I do that?
Give me just a second. Let me view some campaign shit. And we can go ahead and stop recording and streaming. Since we've been doing that the entire time.